All right, let me see if we're live right now. Let's see. Let me see if I hear myself somewhere.
We're live.
Are we? My screen didn't change. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, so the sound is fine, right? Everything's good?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm asking 6 times if you're looking at it. Okay. Okay, I'm assuming it is. Okay. So, oh, hey guys. Welcome to my Scarlet and Violet podcast. I was planning on doing this after I've basically finished the game, which I did, as you followed me and stuff. If you did, if you didn't, oh, I'm just a new guy. So on today's podcast, we're gonna actually talk about Ash, and we're gonna talk about the game itself, obviously, because this is what you're here for. So first off, I want to introduce you to my guest today. Wait, hold on a second.
It's like I don't think we have sound.
We don't have sound.
Yeah. I'm not hearing
What are you
anything
here
in the
for?
podcast.
So, dude, I think I think there's something wrong with you.
Me?
First off, I want to introduce you to my guest today. Wait, hold on a second. Yeah, I hear sound.
Okay. It's like I don't think we have sound. Maybe my
First off,
headphone
I wanna
doesn't want
introduce
to
you to
play
my
it. Okay.
guest. Yeah, I hear sound. I actually just heard me again.
Yay.
I thought you took my idea for a second. Wait, who are you?
Who, me?
No, I'm talking. Yo, I'm reading the chat. Hey, Katsutsi. Sorry, Kos. Oh, it's Andy. Okay, never mind. You're Andy. Yeah, I didn't take your idea. That's not your idea. So, anyways, I guess like everything's fine, right? Sound wise.
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make that clear. Okay. So today we're gonna be talking about Ash, and then we're gonna be talking about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. But first, I want to introduce you guys to my guest. So I got Sam here, who's a regular on my
Yo.
podcast, and he is a nerd like me, and he speaks like a nerd like me, and we love each other, right?
Not that last part.
Oh, okay, we don't love each other. Okay, we hate each other. But we're gonna still discuss today. And today I got a new guest. Not a familiar voice. You probably never heard of him. He's probably on the streets and he came into this podcast. His
Absolutely.
name, yeah, and his name is Steelix. He loves steel steps, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep. He's a Poke nerd like me, right? And we hate each other. Okay.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, good. So we hate each other, and we're gonna talk about this tragic story about Ash.
Oh yeah, bring that up first.
Yeah, look. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys talk about it as well, but I want to just I just want to do a little introduction about that. So here's the thing: I've been following Ash since I was 8, so it's been like 25 years that I've followed this guy's journey, and to see it end like that, I know I know like some great things need to end eventually, but to see it end like that, it kind of sucks. I mean, he still has like 11 episodes left or something, or 12. To still
11.
be. Well, I mean, what about the special next week?
Shining Klefki.
I don't care what you're shiny. Wait. So yeah, 12 episodes, right? Next week is like another special. So
Right.
yeah. So the thing is that Ash has like about 12 episodes to be a main character of the show, and it's gonna suck really to see him go away like that. I do hope that we get to see him in the future, like, you know, give some cameos and stuff like that, because to me, Pokemon anime just has been around Ash, you know, like, it's not just, okay, so I know, like, there's some people that are sick of Ash. They think that, like, Ash has been the main character for 25 years. Why are you crying over it? I get that. But the thing is that Ash wasn't, he's like, he's like an icon, okay? He's an icon. He's been...
Him and his Pikachu.
Him and his Pikachu. I'm not gonna forget
Pikachu as well.
Yeah, I'm not gonna forget Pikachu's Pika's in the story. Yeah. So him and Pikachu have been like icons for this franchise for so long. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure about YouTube, but I got into Pokemon because of the Pokemon anime. So to me, they've been part of my childhood throughout. And I know like you know, some characters need to retire, otherwise they're gonna get stagnant. But I feel like Ash's story is not just about him; it's about the Pokemon that he actually raises as well. So I liked him as like a standard trainer who could just, you know, get any Pokemon and get the best out of them. So I want to know basically 6M's thoughts right now, like about what he feels about this whole ending thing about Ash.
Well, as you said, all good things must come to an end, but at the same time, let me just list off some anime characters. Goku, Naruto, Ash Ketchum, Yugi Moto, Luffy from One Piece. Those characters, they all started around the same time. They're most people's childhood anime characters. If you name their series, people's yeah, we know them. We know them from watching them as a kid.
Right.
Yeah, Yugi went away first. We lost Naruto not long ago. Now we're losing Ash. We're losing someone from our childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who grew up. I can't say Ash grown up with us because he was the only one who hasn't grown up.
I mean, in 25 years, how old did he grow? 10.
Yeah.
He's got that anti-aging cream that people wish they had.
Yeah. But it's sad. It's I mean, it was predicted. We knew it was kind of coming to an end. Why people were denying it.
Yeah, me.
I mean, if Ash, you and me talked about it before.
Yeah.
If we said if Ash wins this might be his end.
Yeah.
There was just that much leading up to that. If Ash wins against Leon, it might go over.
Yeah, maybe over. Yeah.
And looks like that's the result.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what are your thoughts about this, Steelix?
I didn't particularly grow up with Pokemon anime like everyone else here, so I'm not as, I guess, disappointed at it. But it is kind of sad to see such an icon leave the screen and to pass the mantle on to the new characters. What are their names again? It's
did they
not important at this point.
I think one is Roy and one is Liku or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. But yeah, go on.
Yeah. So I think it's. I don't know if I'm particularly ready to see the mantle being passed on to these two new people.
Okay, so this is interesting because I mean you didn't follow the anime like I have, right? So what do you think Ash brought to the series that you feel like it's going to be hard for other people to take over? You know, fill his boots.
Ooh, I think just his energy. I think that's a big thing that we're gonna miss. We can always just switch out anime characters, but we're never. I don't believe that we're gonna have his energy,
right?
Staying in the series, kind of thing. Especially missing Pikachu. I mean, that's gonna suck.
All right, I'm gonna read Henka's comment really quick. And by the way, Henka, welcome to the podcast. By the way, nice to have you here, man. Our childhood hero has have grown up, technically. Kind of a bittersweet as it makes us reflect on our age too, I suppose. Yeah, it does. I mean, it makes me feel old as heck, but you know what? I'm not that old. No matter how many of you guys say that. All right. So
I will repeat it till the day I die.
Shut the heck up. Okay. So, anyways, yeah. So, yeah. What about you, 6M? Well, what do you feel that Ash brought to the series that you feel like other characters won't bring? What will you miss about Ash?
Dude, I think the thing about Ash is other than most of us growing up with him, we had all those heartwarming moments. I mean, even the Pokemon channel itself, they've been doing so many trailers with Ash lately. Before the announcement of Ash going, they did a whole thing. It's or Ash's heartwarming moments with his Pokemons. It's yeah, we might get that with the new characters, but the ones we had, it's you can't replace those.
Yeah.
You can't replace the original, Ash, Squirtle, Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Pikachu in the ice cave.
You can't, yeah.
Almost freezing to death. You can't replace that.
Right.
You can't replace the energy they had, all the history.
Mm-hmm.
Ash's personality is going to be hard to catch up. I mean, they had it going, and we saw how that went.
Yeah, go, yeah. I know, Steelix, you didn't really follow the anime, and I'm pretty sure majority of you guys, I mean, at least my viewers didn't follow the anime. But Go was one character in Pokemon Journeys who I actually didn't like, and a lot of people didn't like. Even I don't think even 6 time liked. but he was basically someone that basically caught any Pokemon with one Pokeball, and he did a lot of things that that were annoying, And then while watching that journeys, while watching the journeys, in my opinion, it was hard for a new character to come in and then be likable. And I'm not, and I don't think it's necessarily Ash's fault either, because these guys, these animators, they probably thought that maybe having Ash around is gonna make this anime be kind of hindered a little bit, because he's already he's becoming the champion, and then like other characters around him won't be liked because he's such an iconic character. I mean, that's what I think. Okay, but that's not the main issue here. I mean, after looking at how Go was treated and how he was made out to be, I have little hope on the new generation to be as good as what Ash was. And
well, I mean, the girl was better, but
you're talking about Cholu or whatever her name is.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. She didn't get that much screen time, I guess.
I was gonna say she was better made than Go, and she had less screen time.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah. So I feel like there are very few characters like Ash that are gonna make this anime series like the best, right? But
yeah.
at the same time, I can see why people don't want him as a main character anymore. So I think, or at least I hope, that they just take a break from Ash, but I'll eventually bring him back in the future, because I think he is still the icon of Pokemon. And if they wanna keep us around, the people that follow this follow his whole journey, they gotta still bring in the nostalgia factor, because what they're doing right now is risky as heck. Like, this is the biggest risk that the anime community, anime company for Pokemon has ever taken. By not just taking Ash away, but you're taking away Professor Oak. You're taking away a lot of the other characters like Misty, Brock, everyone else that he's met, even the Pokemon that he's had, away. Like, that nostalgia factor is going to be gone. So if this universe, if this is not built on like in the same universe as Ash, and if this is like built on like the alternate universe, then they're just gonna get rid of nostalgia, and I don't think for a business standpoint that's a good thing. I mean, they know better than I do, but I don't think for a business standpoint that's a good thing, by getting rid of like Ash's existence completely.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's something more like Yu-Gi-Oh did. They tried to do with Baruto though.
Yeah.
Like, in Yu-Gi-Oh, we know the history. We know the characters were there. Jaden met Yugi. Yusei found the paper from years ago about Yugi.
Right.
We know the history is there. We've seen like the legendary statues in the X and Y series, Zexo. We know they're all there. We know it's like this is years later. This is down the line.
Right.
But we always see mementos of them. But then you also have Baruto, where, well, they just fucked that up.
I still haven't followed Baruto, but I've been hearing a lot of things about it, Baruto, that people have been saying that it's not as good as Naruto. Obviously, it's not. This is one example. Like, what Naruto was, you can never bring back again. The thing I fear about the anime, okay, and I'm not trying to say, I have fear that new anime is going to be so trash or so terrible. I'm just going off of examples of the past, like where they replaced the protagonist, right? It just wasn't the same again. Like,
Naruto wasn't the same. Yu-Gi-Oh at least did a good job doing it.
Okay, the first three seasons. I'm sorry, the first 3 seasons were solid, but after that, I just didn't see anything good.
Yeah, the 5th season was good in my opinion. It just had an awful ending.
Right.
6th season was okay. 7th season, the 4th season had a good start too. I don't want to talk about the other two, the rush ones. Let's get back on Pokemon topic.
Yeah, let's get back on Pokemon topic, because we're not playing children's card games right now. But I'm gonna read what Hanka is saying, and then we're gonna wrap this up pretty soon, because we got to talk about the game. Shut the heck up! I know you're shiny hunting in the back. All right, so
it's fine.
All right, so Hanka is saying, I think Ash will return, maybe as a Leaf 4 or filler episode. I mean, I hope like I mean we're gonna know more about what happens once we get those final 11 episodes of his for his final chapter. But I just hope they don't make him grow up and make him lose that hair and make him go balding or whatever. And based this on the future, I mean, there's some people speculating that this girl is like Ash's and Serena's daughter or something. I mean, I'm not sure, but
I think they're just mostly getting that like off of the one pin that she has in her hair that happens to coincide with the hat design.
Well, the main reason that's coming up because really we have only seen that the design on Ash's hat when in theory is supposed to be a very important symbol for the Pokemon League, but we never seen it anywhere else other than Ash's hat. And the girl does kind of look like Serena.
Yeah, she does. But I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Hanka's comment. He's like, maybe he will be the new professor, bro. No.
We need Professor Ash. I'm boycotting the series as a whole.
I just want to see Ash as a teacher, like kind of like try to do the Brock role.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, but either way, I'm gonna almost like wrap this up right now. But we're gonna know more. By the way, we're gonna do the whole podcast probably about those 11 episodes. Once those 11 episodes come out, and then they give us like the great finale, whatever. We're gonna talk about that. But whatever. But my main thing is that whatever they do in those 11 episodes, they gotta make it so that way Ash can come back. Okay, they cannot just end his whole journey completely to where we're not gonna ever see him again, because we will have to see him again if the company is smart. Because if they lose like if they lose some of the old fans and just focus on the new ones, I don't think that the Pokemon anime is gonna do that well. They gotta throw us a bone or something.
Yeah.
You can go.
We gotta at least see a few cameos from him.
Yeah.
They can't just completely like erase his existence from the series.
No. But anyways, we're gonna get into what we're here about. We're gonna switch gears. We're gonna switch gears into Pokemon Scarlet and Violet review.
Oh boy.
So we know that Ash is not gonna go into the Paldea region, but it doesn't mean that we haven't. We went there already. Unfortunately, 6M still needs to get the game in Christmas, right?
Yeah, I'm getting it Christmas.
But this is the most informed nerd you know on the internet. All right. And then Steelix has been shiny hunting this whole time. He's been playing the game. He's been prepared. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're gonna get into Pokemon Scarlet and Violet review. First off, I wanna just give my initial thoughts about like this whole thing. When I heard about this whole region and stuff, I heard about this whole like you're going into this school place and going back to school. You're going back to school, right? I felt kind of weird that we were going back to school because I don't want to go back to school. School was like, but going back to Poke School and then doing this open world adventure and stuff like that, I think that was kind of enticing and fun in general. And obviously there was issues with the fact that it doesn't have voice acting and all that other stuff. Basically, I talked about this in the previous podcast already. But overall, I want to start with talking about the starters though. And I'm gonna ask both of you guys individually. Then I'm gonna give my thoughts. 6M, like, when I'm talking about the starters, by the way, I'm talking about like we're talking about the evolutions as well. All right.
Yep, I know.
Yeah, just making sure. I know you know, but I'm letting the viewers know that we're gonna also talk about the evolutions. We're not just gonna say, oh, I like Quaxley because he's a duck. All right. No, it turns into a bigger one. All right. So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about the starters like that. So 6M, I want to know, what did you think about the starters individually, along with everything else?
Okay, first forms, all adorable. You just want to hug like each and every one of them.
Yeah, until you get burned. Go on.
I don't like their final evolutions. Kind of look not the best.
Okay, so which ones? Okay, so if you were to like, let's say talk about the evolutions, right? If you were to go from 1, 2, 3, which one is the best evolution in your opinion? Which one is in the middle? Which one is in the last?
Well, the best looking one in my opinion is definitely the grass starter. Speaker to Chico's.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I forget the final evolution's name. You have to learn all
It
the
goes-
final evolution names.
It goes from Sprigatito to Florigato to Meowscarada.
Maserati. Okay. Yeah, the best looking one in my opinion is that one.
Okay.
I have to give the crocodile second. It's the second best looking.
Right. What about
Yeah.
third?
And the duck is the last, which I think most people agree on based on how that's the only one that's not selling plushies.
I didn't look at that, but nice to know. That's why I
Wow.
got you nerds here. Let's go.
They did
I just know because there's a meme going around that of all the plushies selling for the Pokemon games.
Mhm.
The starters ones, they like take like in Tokyo, Japan, there was a picture taking of like you have Sprigatito's final form, Quaxo's final form, Crocus final form, and the two legendaries. And there's shelves all the way up and down. The only ones there is Quaxor final form and the Scarlet starter. I mean the starter legendary.
The
It's like all the other shelves are FP, so it's like
so basically overall you like the you like the stage ones basically or whatever you call it. Like,
the stage ones are beautiful.
yeah.
Stage 2s are good.
Mm-hmm.
Stage 3 are iffy.
Got it. That's your opinion. By the way, I'm gonna mention somebody in the wish, not the wish, the chat. Hey, Ali and Qasim. What is your favorite Pokemon? Hey, well, welcome to the. By the way, welcome to the podcast. By the way, nice to have you here. What is your favorite Pokemon? I mean, that is a bit of a vocal question, but we're gonna get to that actually. Well, I mean, we could say, well, what is your favorite starter for this generation? So you like the cat more?
Well, look wise, I like the cat more.
Okay, he likes the cat more, so his favorite is that. Okay, so Steelix, you're up next. So tell me about the starters.
yeah.
What did you think about it? Shut up.
Okay, so honestly, when I saw them initially, I thought the Sprigatito was like the best one by far, and that Fuecoco and Quaxley both look stupid. But since playing the game, honestly, I still think Sprigatito is the best, but I honestly have come to appreciate the other two starters a bit more. I think all three of them are significantly better than the Sword and Shield starters. I was not like able to like develop a emotional connection, I guess, to any of them, and I boxed my starters as soon as I got to the wild area. But with this game, like I genuinely, I kept Meowscarada on the team the entire game and enjoyed it the entire way.
I was gonna say the starters from Sword and Shield is like even though they're supposed to have personality, they seem to very lack that personality.
Yeah, they were not great. But with this game, so Sprigatito is my favorite of the three, followed by Fuecoco and then Quaxley. The second stage, I would have to say Florigato is my favorite, followed by I forgot what the middle stage for Fuecoco is. It's like Crocalor, that's it. And then followed by whatever Quaxley's middle stage evolution is, because that one genuinely just does not look great. And then it's basically the same order for the final evolutions: Meowscarada and Skeleturge, and then Quaquaval, I think.
I don't know, man. That has a lot of quacks in it.
Yes, way too many quacks.
All right, so what's up?
The grass starters just look better this gen.
Yeah.
This has to be like the best set of grass starters we had since
I'd say since Hoenn, honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna say Gen 3.
Okay, well, I guess I'll give my thoughts about the starters and stuff. So the fire starter is definitely my favorite because I've been using him, and also like I actually okay. So in the past, like on the podcast as well, like I basically mentioned that I
Fake fire nerd.
Yeah, I'm a big fire nerd. I love fire types, but in the past, I did give a bad reaction to figuring out like what
Fuecoco evolution.
Yeah, what Fuecoco turned into. Yeah, Skella Dirge, whatever we call it. Yeah, I did give like a bad reaction to it because it just looked so ugly and Minecrafty and stuff. But I started loving it as I started using it. I actually like him more than the other starters. So for me, it's basically him, the fire starter. Not because I'm biased or anything, guys. Trust me. And then it's the grass one. Shut up. And then I like the water one. I do gotta say though, like I do agree with you with with the comparison to the Sword and Shield. Like, I feel like the set of starters right now are fantastic, and plus they have second typings. They're not just like monotype. So I like the fact that they have like different typings instead. And I think all three of them are pretty solid. They're not so ugly that I feel like I want to quit the game. They did a fantastic job with the starters, and yeah, their Stage 1 forms are so cute and adorable. Like you want plushies of them. I don't. Okay, so so I guess
and also,
enough.
hey, also, this is the first non-firefighting looking starter type in how long?
Forever.
Let's see. We had Blaziken, we had Infernape, we had
Ambor.
Emboar. Yep.
I guess I should also mention that they got some sick signature moves too. All three of them. Seriously.
Oh yeah, their moves are all
How does
great.
it look broken?
Like they got sick signature moves though. Like these are made for competitive teams.
They all. Yeah, I was gonna say competitive wise, they're almost all good. Depends on your situation.
Oh yeah. So, anyways, what's up.
Oh, go ahead.
Anyways, I think that's enough about the starters. We're gonna get into basically like the story of it. So basically, what happens is that we get our starters, and then we're supposed to basically go to the school place. And one of the most controversial things I feel for some people is the fact that the legendary, the main stock legendary, the one that's basically literally plastered all over your screens. Like even on this one, you see like me writing my legendary right now. They were basically handed to you, and your goal was to basically unlock their powers after they got beat up and stuff like that. So in this game they made you go through 3 different stories. One was, I think, Path of Legends.
Path of Legends, Path of what is it? Battles?
No, Victory Road, right?
Yeah, Victory Road and Path of
Starfall 3.
Starfall.
And then Starfall, right? So all 3 of them were somehow connected in a way, like because like in the previous games you only got to get 8 badges. In this one you had to get all 18 essentially by doing this. And I really like so let me tell you the quick differences between each of them. Path of Legends is basically you trying to beat some titans up and then unlocking powers of your legendary, so that way you can do more stuff. Like, so that way you can explore more. Like you could fly and not like glide and jump higher. And
Gives gliding. There's a jump boost. There's a dash.
Yeah.
You can climb walls and swim on water. Yeah, or not swim on water, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So so I don't need to explain all the powers, but there are some of the powers. And then Victory Road is basically you trying to go for the 8 gym badges. And then Starlight Fall was basically you
Starfall Street.
Whatever, Starfall Street. It's basically, dude, I don't care. It's basically you facing off the baddies, but so it's like 3 different stories, and then it's based on like 3 different characters in this game as well, and you basically see all 3 of them on the podcast screen. So I'll say that I overall liked it. I like that I like this different take on the game itself, where you got to pick and choose where you can actually go first, but essentially you got to get everything done. So yeah, overall, what did you guys think about this new concept where you guys can try 3 different stories instead of just stick to one?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
I think it's a great concept. I think it was implemented wrong. They should have done like level sailings to make it so we could go back and forward. Because
level scaling needed to be implemented in this game.
Yeah.
Much better than it was.
Yeah, I mean,
I found myself fighting against the ice type gym leader, who's like chronologically supposed to be the last one, and my Pokemon were at least 10 levels below where they should have been for the fight. Which
I
was
guess it's the last one, is it? I thought the second one was level 60.
No, I think the ice type gym leader was in the 50s, like the low to mid 50s level wise.
Yeah, but isn't the second one at the bottom left corner of the map
No, that's in the 40s.
Oh, that's in the 40s? Okay.
Yep, I think chronologically, she's supposed to be the 7th after the ghost type.
I was just gonna say there's no optimal pathing because of how they did it.
Yeah. You basically get to pick and choose where you go, right?
Yeah, you get to choose where you go, but there's no optimal path no matter which way how you choose. Because you're ever going back and forward to everybody, or coming back over level, or trying to go somewhere under leveled.
Yeah, that was one of the big things I noticed with my game. I was either egregiously overleveled or severely underleveled.
So let me get this straight, because the game didn't really have a proper structure of a story and stuff like that, and on what path you need to take. Essentially, you were over leveled. So basically, it messed with like leveling in general. Like that's the biggest.
They need level scaling.
Yeah,
level scaling would have greatly improved the quality of this game.
Right. So,
because I went into the I went into the final boss fight of the Path of Legends storyline, and I was again severely underleveled, even though I just followed the story through to its conclusion, and I got jumped by level 60 Pokemon out of left field because they wanted you to complete all 3 of the bosses, I believe, around the same time.
Mhm.
But I didn't do that. I finished up one storyline, got immediately decked by level 60s, and I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, so let me get this straight. Basically, even though this is supposed to be like an open world and allowing you to make whatever choices you want to make, essentially what they did was kind of contradict all that by not properly scaling whoever you face. So basically, they want like they're telling you this is an open world, but they basically want you to follow a certain path. So it doesn't.
And that path is not optimal.
Yeah, because the path has you going either to the east or the west, and then going north from there. But then halfway through, you're supposed to go and finish the other side of the region before progressing your way north, where all the super high level stuff is. But if it was anything like, say it was like Unova, whereas more or less like you kind of were guided along one specific path, I feel like it would have been easier. Like if they specifically told you to start off going east and kind of rotate your way around the region, I think that would have been better if they didn't want to implement level scaling, because I know some games like people do complain that there is level scaling. So really, it's up to you. It's like up to your own perception if level scaling is good or not. I feel like in this game it should have been.
Right.
In this game, it's needed. If it was like a game like Dark Souls and they did level scaling, it's like that would be awful.
Dark Souls, Assassin's Creed, or something like that.
Right. Okay, so so yeah, I guess I'll give my thoughts about that too. I definitely agree with that. Like I agree with the fact that well, I like the concept. I like the concept of you being able to choose like 3 different storylines, but the level capping, the level scaling in this game was kind of bad. And I saw in my playthrough that I had to actually not use my main team majority of the time.
I was gonna say half the time you were using an underlevel team half your time because your main team was too strong.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I had to make adjustments for my myself to be able to have some sort of challenge in this game, and I don't think that's a good thing because I don't want to have to do that. I want to have to feel a challenge of that game by itself, by them making me feel challenged. So because I'm majority of the time over leveled, it makes it hard for me to basically find this game hard, you know. And you know what I don't understand is like they make these Pokemon games, but they never add the hard, easy difficulty, easy, hard, medium.
Yeah, they only introduced that I believe one time, and that was in Black and White 2, and they've never re-implemented it since, as far as I'm aware, which is stupid. I feel like the hard, easy, and like medium difficulty should be like a staple of the series. You know, just give that like 2 to 3 level boost to like the Elite Four and Champions teams,
or make their teams a little stronger, change the movesets.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because they had a challenge mode for Black and White too, and I thought that was a really cool idea, but they've never brought it back.
Right. So like, I also think they should add like a way to like stop getting XP from everything. Like,
the experience share being permanently on.
Yeah, like
nobody likes that.
Allow us to turn it off. Allow us give us more flexibility in how we play the game. You know what I mean? Like, allow us to basically like that. That's what that's what I'm saying. It's basically give us easy, hard, and medium difficulty, but also allow us to have flexibility of turning experience points off and make it a little bit more difficult, so that way the playthroughs have more a variety of play. Instead
Substance.
of substance exactly. And instead of you forcing yourself to use underlevel Pokemon and then make it fun, because I totally understand both sides of the argument here. There are some people that really defend this game. There are some people that really hate this game. I'm not. I'm like in the middle of it. Because like I feel like I really enjoyed this game, but if in order for me to enjoy it, I had to basically kind of play against what they gave me.
Yep.
Like I shouldn't have to get underleveled Pokemon just to enjoy my game. But that is basically the three paths. I feel like, overall, like it's great to see the change. But overall, like, what did you guys think about like the overworld and stuff? Like, how you can just go anywhere you want and just explore.
Is this where we're gonna get into the performance issues, or should we save that for a different section?
We can talk about performance as well.
So the overall I thought was pretty good for what we got, but the horrendous render distance, the horrible grass textures and stuff really kind of like take you out of the experience, in my opinion.
So you mean the performance issues and graphics are like a big issue?
I think with this game in particular, yes, they were. They really kind of like yanked you out of the experience.
Do you agree, Six?
And like especially in the overworld, like if God forbid that you end up in like the Asado Desert and a sandstorm comes through, you're gonna be running at 15 frames per second, and it's not gonna feel like you're immersed. You're like an immersive environment kind of thing.
Yeah, I do have to say I did feel like I know how long they work on Pokemon games. It's like 2 years, so yeah, I know the graphics and sometimes there'll be issues, but I don't. Is an old enough game. They have made good graphics. They have made some mistakes in the past, but they should. By this point in time, for 20 years, they should know what is considered good graphics. And the problem is, we have Breath of the Wild. We've seen the graphics the Switch can run on that.
Oh, exactly. That's like the main game I compare this one to, because Breath of the Wild has a lot more content, in my opinion.
Well, I do know it's like Nintendo is not actually the one that makes Pokemon. It's still Game Freak who does all the coding and stuff there, but still, it is kind of a letdown there.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, I'm just gonna talk because we're talking about graphics. I mean, just look at Fortnite. They've been out for like 5 years now, and they just made the
I think they're going
best
on
graphic
7.
update ever.
Yeah.
You say something, Sheila?
Yeah, I think they're going on 7 years.
No, they're only on 5. They started in 2017.
Oh, okay.
They just had their 5th-year anniversary. But they had some of the best. They just did an upgrade, and it has some of the best graphics in all gaming now.
Which is insane because it's Fortnite. It should.
Yeah, it's like, why can't Pokemon do that?
And Fortnite runs basically perfectly fine on the Switch, so it's not exactly a Switch.
I mean, it does run a little sad on the Switch sometimes, but that also depends on your internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do.
Like
Sorry.
I'll do a higher performance category.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do agree with like the performance issues and all that other mumbo jumbo, because like if this is an open world and I'm supposed to explore things, I expect to see better textures and better things. The game needs to look very beautiful for this to work. And I feel like with Pokemon being so rich in terms of like how much money they make, I think they need better people working on this and making this like the best looking game possible and performing decent as well. Or if anything, give us like an option where we can either have better performance or better textures, because some games have that. But yeah, either way, it needs to look like a best looking Pokemon game if they want to go with it. And this is once again an issue they have continuously had with this whole game in general. I mean, you're going to see the common theme of this is that they're trying new things, but they're not going all in it, and that is a big issue. But but yeah, like definitely in the open world, like I had that issue, where like things didn't look that good. But did that like take away my enjoyment of the game? It took away somewhat, but it didn't take it away to the point where like I'm not gonna play this game. You know?
Yeah. Overall, I actually really enjoyed like the region like layout
Mhm.
and how like there's just giant mysterious crater in the center of the region that the entire like everything else like surrounds. I enjoyed what they did with the placement of the different biomes and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 6M, you didn't play it yet, so you.
I mean, I looked at the map. I was the first one to show you how beautiful that map looks. I mean, the full map and the placement of everything, that all looks beautiful.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. So, but basically, the map looks beautiful. Like, I feel like the open world aspect of things. I mean, them trying something different with it. I like that because they kind of added like Legends of Arceus to this game. Like somewhat some of the good things they did with Legends of Arceus, they kind of added it to this one. Which is basically not being stuck in the grass anymore. You know, like you in the previous Pokemon games, you would go in the grass and then the Pokemon would appear. Now you get to see whatever Pokemon's in front of you. But I do got to mention something bad about that too. And you know this very well, Felix. Like,
I definitely know where you're going with this.
Yeah, you know when you're trying to shiny hunt,
oh yeah,
all you see is the color change, right? But you don't see the sparkle.
Yeah. So something Legends Arceus did terrifically well was if you ever happen across the shiny Pokemon, you will see sparkles and you will get this very distinct like shiny sound effect. And as soon as you hear that sound effect, that's where you like drop from your Braviary and you're like, where did it come from? And then but in this game, which is significantly bigger and with some Pokemon being super small, it's much harder to see like the shiny forms. And especially if we're gonna get into this, Mousehold. It has
no, don't even bring that up. That thing is not a shiny.
Yeah, it's not. But you wouldn't be able to tell regardless because there's no like indicator that it's shiny other than trying to squint at its like little shirt. And you're like, is that blue? Is that like the super light blue or is that the super light yellow? I can't tell.
Armoro and Sarah's baby. The shiny part is the eyes. That's it. It's the eyes of a different color.
And forget talking about there's some Pokemon that are barely different, and they are so annoying to try and shiny hunt in this game. At this point, I think I'll just stick to the Masuda method if I'm going to, because at least that'll provide me the sparkles.
Yeah, you brought up a good point. Yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off, but you brought up a good point though. Oh look, Hanka's saying something, but you brought up a good point. I'm gonna read your comment in a second, right? So yeah, you brought up a good point. The point is that like there's some shinies in this game, in Pokemon in general, that don't look that different from their original shinies. So with the sparkle effect being gone, it's hard to tell if they're shiny or not, because you have to be really sharp eyed to look at that, and just to find them in general is not like super easy. Even if you get all the recipes done, it's hard to figure out which one is the most shiny and stuff. You gotta really look at it. If they added the sparkles, you wouldn't have to do all that stuff. So you bring up a good point of that, and then also the sizes. That's another thing that changed in this game. Like the Pokemon are their actual sizes. So if the Pokemon is considered to be very small looking, he's gonna show up as very small looking. So that does also kind of annoy me, because like when I was moving around, there were times where I stepped on a small Pokemon that looked like Plankton. That sucked. All right, I'm gonna read Hanka's comment real quick. I think back in older Pokemon games, you saw the glinting and sound effect to know it was an actual shiny. Yeah, you did.
That's true.
Yeah, you definitely did. Did you want to add anything to that 6 time, by the way?
Mostly because I think the sound was definitely something needed, because especially the older games, it's like I had put my DS down like during Diamond and Pearl. I put my DS down right before a Pokemon encounter. I walk away. I always have my sound on.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I would hear like, "Oh my god, I got a shiny!" I would just turn around and go back to my game immediately.
Right. So
now,
sorry.
I mean, now there is a way to actually shiny hunt easier to tell which ones are shiny
Mhm.
without the sound effect, but that's you still like I don't know if you know this, but auto hunting does not will not battle any shiny Pokemons.
Yep, and the shiny Pokemon also will not run away. Like I specifically ran into a shiny Voltorb by accident the other day, and it
Oh
did
yeah,
not
they
try and
don't blow
self-destruct
up.
itself, which was amazing
Yeah.
because I didn't even notice it. I thought it was a Meryl, and I walked right past it, but it didn't self-destruct.
Okay. Okay, so you brought up another good thing. A new feature they added. It's called the auto battle. It's where your Pokemon basically just comes out of your Pokemon and then battles the other Pokemon. What did you guys think about that feature?
I think at first glance I wasn't a big fan of it because it felt like Pokemon was just trying to give like lazy people like an out for getting like massive amounts of experience and stuff. But going forward, like it's definitely good for the mass outbreaks where you have to kill like 60 Pokemon to get boosted shiny odds and stuff. And you don't want to just manually battle 60 Pokemon at once. So I think it's not as bad of a feature as I thought it was originally.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Sorry.
It gives less CXP too, so it's like.
Yeah, it gives less XP, but you also don't get EVs if you care about that. So
yeah,
you don't also get EVs from
Yeah.
it. So it's like
But EV training is significantly easier in this game regardless.
no, EV training is easier if you have money. If you know.
Oh yeah, which you can get tons of Gimme Go or Golden Go.
Yeah, you know, if you're a rich dude, you can easily EV train. But what I'm saying is that I like the fact that you don't get EVs from that. You know, because I don't want to just throw out a random Pokemon and then just get EVs. And
no, I was gonna say it's only good for like as Steeler says, shiny hunting.
Well, it's
good or getting the materials.
Yeah, it's good for that. It's good for getting materials. And then if you just wanna get rid of some Pokemon quickly that are in front of you, so you can explore more. I actually like that. Like, you know, this feature allows you to explore more instead of just battling Pokemon every time. At first I agree. Like I was kind of like iffy about it too, a little bit. You know, like I was like, I know if this is gonna affect my way of enjoying the game because this also gives you XP. This is another way to get XP. Besides just catching the Pokemon, besides just battling the Pokemon, you can do auto battles.
Well, but I am happy that they nerfed the amount that you would get from it.
Yeah.
Okay, what were you gonna say, Sam?
I was gonna say, I think that I don't know exactly, but based on how much they nerf, I feel like if you auto battle and based on how much they nerf, because I don't know how much.
I think
if
it's
you
like
auto battle, I think it takes about the same time as like battling enough Pokemon to get the same EXP.
Right. So I did like it, but you know, once again, it's another way to get XP, and that's the thing. Is like sometimes I avoided using it because I didn't want to get too much XP, even though you get lesser XP now. I just didn't want to get extra XP. You know what I mean? That's one because that also goes into like over leveling, which I think they need to start doing. They need to basically start having a set level. Well, like when you battle like these gym leaders or something, there should be like a set level that you can't go above or below with. Like, you know how in online battles you do like you can only do level 50 battles, for example.
Yep.
They should have something like that with this stuff. Where like even if I over leveled my Pokemon, let's say if the first gym leader is level 16, right? My Pokemon stays level 16 when I battle, but I still get those moves that I leveled up for. They got to do something like that, I think. Oh yeah. Okay. So I want to talk about individual characters now. Like I want to talk about the 3 characters that we take the paths of, right? One is Nimona, right? I think her name is Nimona.
Yep,
Nimona.
Nimona is basically the Victory Road story girl. Like she's basically your rival, essentially. And I think overall, I think she was a fantastic rival. I'm not gonna give too much about her yet. I'm gonna give my opinion after, but I'm gonna say Nimona is one. Okay. And then you got, I think his name was Arvin, right?
Yeah, Arvin.
Arvin. Yeah, you got Arvin, and then you got Penny.
Penny.
So let's talk about. I mean, you guys can talk about all 3 of them if you want, but let's start with Nimona.
Are we gonna drag spoilers and stuff into this?
I mean, we're doing a review, right? This is. Hey, by the way, if you didn't play the game yet, all right, I don't give a care. This is not spoiler free. talking about spoilers.
Bruh.
All right, go ahead, Felix.
Menace.
Well, what do you think about Nimona?
Okay, so I genuinely enjoyed Nimona's character. I think she was one of the better rivals the series has seen. Not quite to the likes of like N, but pretty high up there. She's like she supports you. I guess she's kind of like a stalker, but we don't talk about that part.
Derry.
Yeah, she just happens to show up everywhere you go and be like, "Oh, let's do a warm-up match or something." It's a little creepy, but past that, she was definitely one of the better rivals. Like she was always there to like basically pep you up for whatever gym battle or challenge you were about to face. Let's see. Probably definitely a better rival than Hop because I'm not gonna even go into that. Let's see. Arvin, the guy with daddy/mommy issues, depending on which game you play. But I think his character development throughout the game was pretty solid, all things considered.
Probably one of the best ones in a Pokemon game.
But to be fair, though, I didn't get too much of like an emotional attachment to Penny.
You're right.
I don't know. She just felt like I feel like it was kind of rushed, and the plot twist was extremely noticeable. Like it was predictable. That's the word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your thoughts. Thank you for sharing that. What about you, Sixten? What did you think about all these three characters?
I'm definitely gonna say no. Yeah, definitely one of the best rivals. I think one of the top 3 rivals is probably N and Gary.
Oh, dang! You rate her that high?
Yeah. But then again, a lot of the rivals are kind of, how should I say it, lame.
Right.
Arvin, yeah, definitely the most well-written, like most character growth we have seen in Pokemon games, other than some of the rivals. My God. Penny, cute design, great music battle. I heard the music battle. Love the Eevee team. But yeah, kind of predictable that she was going to be like the enemy team leader.
Cassiopeia.
Yep. Okay, so those are your thoughts, right? Okay. So basically, I'm going to talk about Nimona. Oh, well, first off, before I talk about any of them, I got to say, one of the most controversial things for me about this game was that something I didn't really mention in the playthrough or whatever, but I think I should have. Arvin, right? Arvin, right? His name is Arvin. So I kept thinking about Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, for some reason. Like I don't know why. I always
they're both blonde, I guess.
I already have sympathy for him because of that reason, because I missed that dude. I mean, he was awesome. So I don't know why I got the crocodile hunter vibes. Anyways, but yeah, I'm gonna talk about Nimona. Nimona was, I gotta say, she was a solid character. I mean, design wise, she sticks out because of the hair that she has, like a bit greenish, and then you got the skirt going, and then she definitely looks like a battling trainer. What I really found sick of hers was the gloves that she wore. It kind of reminded me of something like Tekken. Like she's ready to fight with that. That fist. She's gonna.
Yeah, I know.
She's gonna punch you with it. And in that fist, she has that Pokeball and stuff. So it makes it look so amazing, very badass. I as a character, I'll say that she battled us a lot, and when she did, she was like kind of testing us, and she kind of gave me a lot of Ash vibes. Like
you can't say no to her.
What?
One of the scenes in the thing where she says, "You be my battle
rival."
Battle rival. Yeah. If you try to say no, you can say no to her forever. It will not let you say no.
Apparently you have to be a rival. One of those things that the game wants you to do by making this open world. Hey guys, we're gonna let you do whatever you want, but no, you're gonna follow what we say. Anyways, so yeah, she was a fantastic. Like I'll say, she was a fantastic rival in a sense. It gave me a lot of Ash vibes because apparently she is the champion already, and and
That's
she
something I want to get into in a bit.
yeah, and then she's yeah, we're gonna still talk about these guys. Trust me. After I'm done. Uh, but yeah, she's already the champion, and then but she's using like a whole new set of Pokemon instead of just going with like whatever Pokemon she has, her reserve. She's not using it, so that gave me a lot of Ash vibes, and I really loved her passion for battling. Which it once again gave me Ash vibes. So like, if it felt like I was facing a female Ash, who kind of sucks.
It was a yandere.
There you go. Yeah. So that's what I really liked about her. Whatever that net language you use, okay, whatever. I agree with it. So next I'm gonna talk about Steve Irwin, no, or Arvin. Okay. This guy, I didn't really like him at first. I mean, I found his hair to be kind of weird. Like it feels like he has some thorns on his hair. I'm not sure. But design wise, I mean, he looks like an explorer. He looks like somebody that just walks around with like a toolkit of exploring and stuff like that. I actually like this guy eventually because I did feel sorry for him. His story is very solid and very very relatable and stuff like that. He is the most developed character.
Do you have mommy issues, Natsu? Is that why you relate to him?
Listen, guys. I'm not gonna reveal that. We're not gonna talk about that. Okay, so anyways, so apparently he's also a rebel. But like we've battled him before. He needed our powers and stuff like that. But he's not as strong as Nimona is. Nimona is all about battling. But he's not as strong as her. But he's basically about like feel sorry for me. He's like that. So I liked him. He's a solid character. I really love him. As a leader as well. Yeah, I think he becomes a leader later on. And then we're gonna talk about Penny, not a dime.
It was hilarious.
It wasn't. I know.
Find a Penny, pick her up, and all the day you'll have good luck.
I gotta say, she, in my opinion, has the best design out of the three.
Oh, definitely.
I really love the backpack that she has. Of Eevee. I found that nice. I like the hair. It's kind of different. You know what? It kind of gives me the vibes of the hair kind of reminds me of what is that dude's name in My Hero Academia?
Tokyoko?
Yeah, yeah, that guy. I think was it My Hero Academia? Oh, hold on, let me Google it real quick.
You just said it, what? Huh?
I was gonna say, I think I said it right.
I think you said it right, but I don't want to butcher it. Is it Tori Roko? Hold on. Yo, I don't want to get My Hero Academia. Okay, Todoroki. Todoroki. Okay, Shoto Todoroki.
Don't even say. Don't just say Fire and Ice.
Okay, Fire and Ice. Okay, so there's a Fire and Ice dude. All right, she kind of reminds me of like that female version of him, sort of, but in Pokemon Ice. So she obviously, as you can tell, she is the Eevee Eevee team cheerleader. I mean, she has a bit of an Eevee team, evolution team, and I always want a new Eevee in every generation, but apparently they couldn't give us a new one when they have a character based on Eevee, which is weird. I felt like her okay, so about her character. So the thing that I didn't really like about her character was the fact that in the beginning she's this shy person, right? And she didn't really do anything that different in the games. Like it just felt kind of repetitive of what she would do. First thing that would happen is whenever you finish your Team Star mission, which was fun to do, by the way. Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that too, actually. But after you did your Team Star mission, you got this call from some random person that you didn't even know who they were. Like think about like a random voice you're hearing on the internet, and doing whatever they're saying, which is kind of weird. Like our guy never really questioned it. So after that call, she gave us the LP points, I think it's called. No, BP points.
The league points.
Yeah, LP points. So she would come in, and then in the beginning, like she would get scared of our legendary, and then she would say a few things. I mean, I just felt like it didn't really develop her character at all that much. Like I could probably skip a lot of her scenes, and then get to the final one to figure out there's a plot twist. So yeah, I overall we're gonna talk about like Team Star in a few, but yeah, overall, I felt like her character design was the best, but her story was the most weakest. If I was to judge based on the stories, honestly, for me, Nemona's story is okay, but the best one is definitely for me
Arvin.
Arvin.
It's
Yeah,
Arvin.
it's Arvin, then Nemona, and then it's her. That's what I think about that. But yeah, what did you want to say? Talk about again, Steelix?
Oh, I thought okay. So when Nemona's story was brought up, I thought it was just really cool how they established the fact that she's already hit like the champion rank, and that she's honestly just taking it super easy on you, mostly because all the adults tell her to. But she just like builds an entire new team along with you and during your journey. And I think it's just cool how she's like already an established champion and just decides to become your rival one day.
Do you agree? Do you agree with that, 6M?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I do know at like one point where you could battle her multiple times, and she has like multiple different teams always set up. So it's like, yeah, she just grew. She was making a new team along with us the whole time, and she has these powerhouse teams in the back already.
Yeah, which it once again gives me Ash vibes because Ash also has like reserves all the time, but he just goes with the new team. What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
He said we. Okay. Anyways,
I said, oh yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, I totally agree. Like I said, I totally agree with that. I really did like that. And speaking of that, like it kind of just gives you the vibe that she's a strong trainer. She's not like a weird loser that we have as a rival.
Hugh.
Yeah. So like one of my biggest issues with the rivals in the games was the fact that they started becoming more wimpy. They just wanted to be my friend, right? She wanted to compete with me. She wanted to be my butt. Okay, so she was going easy on me. Knowing that she was going easy on me this whole time, to like the final, when you become a champion and stuff. It makes me feel like she's a strong trainer who's basically just holding back. So it gives me some sort of respect for her. But those guys that were my rivals that were like, "Hey, I'm a loser. So feel sorry for me." Like, no.
Pop.
She's way better than them.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, now I just kind of want to talk a little bit more about the stories that we had, right? So Victory Road basically was. Let's start with Victory Road. So basically, Victory Road was basically you just going for the 8 gym badges, but when you're going for the 8 gym badges, I feel like what I found very interesting is the fact that every gym leader, and I mentioned this on my stream as well, that every gym leader is not just a gym leader. They have something else going on for them. They're like a part-time gym leader or something like that. I actually like that a lot, and the fact that like with every battle you did, you got some introduction of the Elite Four, which was great. And then I also I mean the power scaling was an issue. I'm gonna be honest, like the leveling stuff, like that was a big issue. Because like because me having the ability to choose whatever gym I want to face, I could easily go for the strongest one if I wanted, and I don't really like that. I feel like it would have been more fun if they fixed the leveling issue, But otherwise, I enjoyed like majority of my battles. I noticed there's another thing we didn't talk about, but we'll talk about that after we talk about this. But what did you guys think about the Victory Road story?
Oh, I guess I'll go first.
Yeah.
Well, the puzzles, I thought, I guess you would say puzzles for most part, were very interesting. Most of the gym leaders I found their character designs and personalities were a little bad.
Okay, okay. Which gym leader in particular you found to be a bad person?
If you say Larry, I will fight you.
No, I would not say Larry. He's the only one relatable.
He is the most relatable person in the entire Pokemon series ever.
Oh yeah, lazy bastard. Go on.
Poor dude is overworked to hell and back.
Yeah, so which character?
No, Angel was too over the top for their personality.
Oh my god, we're not gonna talk about her. Go on.
Yeah. The snowball guy. What was his name?
That was a guy.
Yeah, that's a
Who, the
guy,
ice
not a
type gym
girl.
leader? Yes, he is.
I thought it was okay. Never mind. Go on.
Chaz, we talked about this before.
All right.
Yeah, that is a whole thing.
Okay. Well, I figured out that's a guy.
Let's don't look at Rule 34.
All right. We won't do any of that.
Oh no!
We won't
Oh no!
So you found that dude, the snowball guy, which is basically the strongest gym leader, right?
Yep.
The ice gym leader. Okay. All right. So what did you not like about them?
I mean, most of them, I felt like their personalities were just off. It's like they weren't well written as they could have been.
Right.
It's like nobody looked to see, like, yeah, does this look like a good personality, the character design wise?
Yeah. Okay, Felix. How about you? You tell me about the Victory Road story. What did you think about that?
I thought the story itself was okay. It's just like your generic, oh, go and get 8 badges and fight the Elite Four and champion. Gym leader design wise, there's a few that I'm not a fan of, but a good majority of them I appreciate. What's the water type guy? He reminds me kind of like Crash Awake from Diamond and Pearl, just like his overall build. But I mean, he's obviously not a professional wrestler; he's a cook. Katie, I think the bug type gym leader. I think it's weird that she uses bug types, but also bakes stuff. I feel like some insect legs would have to make it into the batter at some point. I don't know. That's just the kind of vibes I get. It's weird. Not a particular fan of the psychic type gym leader design, just cause. Grass type gym leader's fine. Iono's cursed.
That's the best way
Ice
to
type
say
gym
that.
leader. Huh?
I said that's the best way to call her.
Yes. The ice type gym leader is confusing. And I appreciate the ghost type gym leader. And then Larry is relatable as all get out. Love Larry. Not to like the fangirl status that he's brought up to be, but I like him.
Okay, so you guys did bring up.
But I hate Gita. I despise her. She's literally like a female Gru.
Oh, you're talking about
I cannot get that image out of my head. Like her legs are so long for no reason.
Okay, so Hunt,
I know they.
what's up? Hold on.
I know they were trying to do like a VTuber with her, but oh my god.
I don't know. Yeah. So hold on. I'm gonna read Hanka's comment really quick. I haven't played Pokemon Scarlet or Violet. Do gyms have puzzles or mazes to get the leader like in other Pokemon games? So
yes.
I mean they do kind of, but it's kind of like more of like I'll say the Sun and Moon, where like they kind of made you do those weird challenges. Like you had to do weird challenges.
So for the grass type, it was like, oh, round up some sunfloras around the city.
Play hide and seek.
Yes, hide and seek. I forgot the bug type one was.
Oh, that was all of.
The psychic type was like a Simon Says type thing. Where I don't know. The ice type one was like slide down the mountain in a certain amount of time.
I don't know. Was find the guy.
Just be some of her tier 3 subs.
Yeah.
Where's Rado?
Yeah. I know, dude. I guess I'll talk shit about her. I have to. Okay, so
I mean, yeah, she's making fun of you. Like that's her entire personality is to make fun of you.
She is. I mean, I'm a freaking streamer, but like, she's more like a I don't know. Either she's like a VTuber or something. I mean, that's her. Whatever.
She's supposed to be like a VTuber, but her personality just missed the mark.
Okay, so I was like I said, I did play this game, and I was actually reading her parts and stuff like that, and I felt like a totally completely different person, and I was like, where the heck is English? You know, when I was reading her parts,
hola, hello, ciao, and some other stuff. Just like 4 different hellos.
Please don't make me cringe. But yeah, she was like,
that is very accurate.
She was, you were accurate, but you know, honestly, she was like, in my opinion, I know there'll be some people that will like her and stuff like that because they love that fluffy stuff. But for me, she was like easily one of the worst ones to do. I did like originally I did find it a cool concept for them to actually accept the streaming element of things, but like having a streamer gym leader is like sick, and especially being electric type because you do streaming with electricity. Duh.
No way.
You know, yes way.
That's crazy.
I love that, but it's just that they went over the top with it, and yeah, maybe some people will say that's how streamers are. Not all of them.
I was gonna say no. Dude, I was gonna say it's a shame when even the VTubers are hating on here.
Oh, so other VTubers are hating her.
Yeah, it's like no she like missed everybody's mark.
Dang.
Yeah, so
And they designed for her off of VTuber.
oh, I didn't know
I
that.
feel like they were trying to like parodize her almost, like parodize streamers.
I
feel like-
Yeah.
I think that was what they were going for, and I mean, I guess it worked. It's riling up everyone now.
yeah, so
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, but they did take design off a streamer, a VTuber to make her teeth. You see how sharp her teeth is?
Yeah, she's got shark teeth.
Yeah, there's a VTuber called Gura. I can't think of her name right now, but she's her whole character design is a shark, so her avatar has shark teeth.
Right.
Yeah, they copied a lot of weird aspects.
Yeah. So yeah, I actually didn't really like her the most. I mean, especially because I had to actually do that whole scene myself, like kind of. Like, I had to read a majority of her thing. I didn't really like her the most because of how over the top she was, and out of them, like, she kind of stands out. I mean, design wise, I think she's pretty cool. Design wise, I think she's fine, but it's just that I didn't like the personality at all. And doing her challenge was so basic. Hey, just find this old man somewhere on the screen.
Yeah, find Clavel. It's not that hard.
Find Clavel, yeah, basically that. Some of the I'm gonna say some some of the challenges in this game were kind of just they were just too kiddie in my opinion. You know, it just
they were not very memorable.
No, they were not memorable. They were not that good. I like that they were trying to be different with it, but it's just that before you fight the gym leader, you gotta do these weird challenges. Like, it just took me out of the game sometimes. You know, it just it was just too much. They gotta do something fun. Like, if they want to add mini games, they got to do something fun with them. Like, they got to do more.
I was gonna say, it's a shame when people are having more. It's a shame when people are having more fun with the olive glitch than the olive challenge.
Yeah.
Elaborate.
There's
For the
a
bug type
glitch
gym
if
leader?
it's the bug gym leader with the giant olive where you have to push it from one side of the maze to the other side.
Yeah, you play like Rocket League with a giant olive.
Yeah, you could, if you jump on it just right, if you push it into a corner, you could get sent flying into the air.
Wow.
Yo, I need to try that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, this is why this guy hasn't played the game, but he still knows a lot. It's crazy. But
I look
I'll
around.
like over there right now.
he's telling people that play the game already new stuff. That's great. So yeah, I just didn't like the challenges and stuff like that as well. And when it comes to the Elite Four, right? I mean, we haven't talked about that yet. Okay. Oh no, before we get into that, we are gonna talk about trustalization as well, but we're gonna talk about that after this. But what they did different in this one was that they gave us the gym leaders had like a different typing in their team this time. They have one different typing, so they could trustalize into the same type as them. I thought that was a cool feature, but eventually it got predictable because you just knew that they were gonna become, like, let's say, a bug type or a ice type, even though they're not that. And
yeah, you knew Shooter-Wooter was gonna become a grass type. You knew Teddy Ursa was gonna become a bug type.
Right.
Forget who the ice gym leader had.
The ice gym leader, I actually forgot as well. Actually, the ice gym leader wasn't that memorable. Iona was.
Hers was an Altaria.
Oh yeah.
Altaria.
You're right. Okay.
His. Remember, it's a guy.
Yeah.
You told her.
Oh my god. Why are we calling her a she? I mean he. I mean whatever. Okay, we're not gonna worry about it.
Confusion.
Okay. So yeah, the gym leaders had that, but then so the Elite Four. When it comes to the Elite Four, I love the questions they were asking us. You know, like, they asked you a question about your whole journey. I thought that was interesting because I had to actually remember some stuff. I found that fun and interesting because, like, if you didn't answer the question correctly, you would not be able to enter. I like that, and but then when it comes to, like, the whole concept, like the whole the whole Elite Four in general. Like, I thought it was fine. I mean, I thought the Elite Four were fine, but it's just the champion that I had an issue with.
Yeah, I do not like Gita at all.
Worst champion ever.
The Gita
By far.
was not a good champion, and let's talk about Gita really quick. So, Steelix, tell me about Gita. What didn't you like about her? What did you like about her? Whatever.
Well, her design number one is pretty bad. I like that her signature Pokemon, it's Glamora? Yeah. I like that it kind of like replicates her hair, but that's really it. Like, why does she look like Gru from Despicable Me? it's so uncanny. Let's see. Just overall, like, I mean, like they even talk about how she's not great. Like Larry, specifically tells the player that he's basically overworked all the time because of her. It's just not great. She doesn't have a great personality. There's not much really to her name other than she's the champion of champions.
Right.
Chairman of champions.
Yeah. What do you think about her, 6M? I know you made it clear already, but go on.
Well, we always say how she has she probably has the weakest Pokemon team ever in the game compared to even some low-level gym leaders have better team than her.
Yeah.
And that's the worst part. Her team is so badly designed, so badly mood pool. Like, have her Pokemon have psychic moves, have them have ghost move, and somehow still half of them have ground moves.
They're
like,
all super easy to counter.
It's like, she has like no type coverage. She doesn't have the right abilities for some of her Pokemon that need them. Her team is out of order. Her ace Pokemon should have been her starter. King Gam. I mean,
okay, don't diss my boy King Gambit. I'm not gonna let that slide.
No, that should have been her ace.
Yeah. So
that guy.
Sorry.
It's like her team's out of order.
Mm-hmm.
Lack of move coverage.
Mm-hmm.
Bad move pool in general. Bad abilities. Why does she have a Go-Go?
I have
not a freaking idea.
I have no idea. Maybe she likes to ride Go-Go's. I don't know.
I mean, I don't. Go-Go's an okay Pokemon, but for a champion level gym leader, if you want a grass type, there was way better options.
Right. Yeah. So overall, sorry.
Actually, one more thing. Her team did have a theme, though. Most people didn't notice it.
Mm-hmm.
That her theme was that each Pokemon represented a different biome.
Yeah.
So I guess it would make more sense that she had a Go-Go than.
Wait, why would it make sense?
Well, it'd make more sense if it's like based off of a biome. Then I guess it'd make more sense.
Yeah, but there was two better options there was two better Pokemon options that fits the biome theme. Mm-hmm. Like they could have gave her a Tauros.
Wait, what is this biome theme?
You know what a biome is. I'd hope.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Of course I know.
So like mountains, forest, desert, stuff like that. Her team was based on biomes, apparently.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Anyways, so overall, you just didn't like her team. You didn't like the way it was made. The abilities were bad. Didn't look like a champion team, right?
Yeah, like I said, there's been low-level Pokemon gym leaders who had better designed teams than her.
Right. Okay, so
that's saying something.
Okay. All right, so the thing is that I'm gonna give my thoughts about Gita as well, I guess. So the thing with Gita is, I agree with the design aspect of things. Like the design wasn't that crazy. I mean, I just looked at her hair, and then I was like, where is this going? And I don't know. Her personality wasn't that great either. I know that she was like, the league's chairwoman or something, right? So
yeah.
Her I'm supposed to see this character as someone that is a very strong trainer, and I kept trying to compare her to Cynthia for some reason, because Cynthia to me stands out as a tough chick, tough big woman, You know what I mean? This woman doesn't stand out to me like that. So her personality was very dry. She wasn't that interesting to me. What stood out was her design, but the design kind of just looked weird. Like it didn't look too Pokemon to me. And then I agree with the whole team. 6M's thoughts about the team because he came on my stream and he was like, "Yo, her team sucks. It doesn't do this. It doesn't do that." I was like, "Oh, okay, I get it." So I looked at. I mean, when I look at the team, right? When I look at a champion team, I'm expecting something that is kind of more intimidating looking. Like I'm expecting something that makes me think, okay, this Pokemon is actually strong. Like for example, Lance had like a bunch of Dragonites. He had like some Gyarados and stuff.
Yeah, he had 2 Dragonites. Alder had a Volcarona, which was scary to see the first time around.
Right.
Even Metagross.
Yeah, Metagross.
His Skyway.
Wait, he had a
Garchomp from Cynthia and Lucario.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about Metagross for Steven, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like all these other champions had these strong looking pseudo legendaries sort of Pokemon, right? You were thinking that they that this is definitely the champion. Like I'm talking about a try-hardy team. All right,
And
these
then
guys
she pulls out the Glamora.
Yeah, I'm talking about like these previous champions had like these try-hardy teams because that's what
Yeah, I
champion
mean-
should be, a try-hard. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leo had 2 starters and a pseudo legendary.
Who?
Because he had a Charizard and whatever one that you didn't.
Oh, you're
pick,
talking about
or
Leon.
whichever one-
Oh, you're talking about Leon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had Dragon Bolt.
Dragon. Yeah, I mean Leon. Honestly, I didn't think his design was like that greatest. I mean, he looked like a billboard full of stuff, you know. But but still, I liked his team a lot because he did look like a grand champion, right? So like all these previous champions, they looked amazing. Even though people hate Charizard, some of them, you know, like he had a Charizard, man, he had a Charizard. Shut the heck up. I love Charizard. Anyways, I loved the I loved Leon's team. I loved like I'll say the previous champions. They had great teams in general. So I just this woman's like if you compare her to the previous ones, her team looks bad. And if you even if you don't compare her to the previous ones, her team still looks bad. Like you said, go. Why you have go? If you're gonna add go, give it some sort of evolution that makes it look more intimidating or something. You know, just like if a champion is gonna have go, right? You might as well just have an evolution of it in her team. Like do something with that. Like make her look threatening and stuff. But no, she was as uninteresting as her whole personality and outlook. It's like she wasn't interested in beating you. She just wanted to test you. That's what it looked like. So
I can't even call that a test.
Yeah, because the baby can pass it. But I will.
Something that didn't help was for those who had like the champion and Elite Four themes bugged, where it only played like the intro loop. Yeah, it was so underwhelming. I had both of those and I hated it. I thought the entire Elite Four was just like a loop, and the fact that like the Elite Four battle took place in a room that looked like it was padded like an asylum. I was like, they're actually trying to drive me insane here.
That's actually funny. Yeah.
I was gonna say it's one room. The room has no design at all.
Yeah, it's not like I kind of miss like the Johto Elite Four from Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Those were very well designed Elite Four rooms.
Right.
I mean, come on. Lance's thing had the Dragonite sitting out the walls.
Oh yeah.
Cynthia's, you knew you were walking into Cynthia's room as soon as you heard the music.
Dun 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 dun.
Yep.
Bum bum bum.
I mean, Leon didn't have a room, but he had that. We were in the stadium.
Yo, I didn't know I hired a magician here. Okay, but go on.
A magician or a musician?
Musician, whatever, man. Not magician. Sorry.
Hmm.
All right. So, yo, I did want to say something though. Okay, so this is actually gonna be a positive in my opinion. Basically after Gita, right? Like, okay, Gita was bad. I didn't enjoy her, but what happened after that is that you got to do this big battle against your rival, right?
Oh yeah.
And I dig the whole cinematics of that. Like where like you get to pick a place that is memorable to both of you, where you guys met each other and stuff like that, right? And then you went there, and then you know they had this whole cinematic scene where we looked at each other, and This was serious. The atmosphere was amazing. A lot of people gathered up together just to watch us do this epic battle.
That felt more like a champion fight.
That looked
that
like
was significantly better than anything Gita had ever done.
will ever do as well. But that was amazing. This is me not even getting into the battle yet. The battle was epic, but the things around that battle was epic as well. So I really liked how they got you pumped up to face this champion out, fighting what's her name? Nimona at her full strength. Fighting Nimona at her full strength was so fantastic. I love that. I love that battle. She had a strong team. I overall love the battle. What did you guys think about it, Felix and 6M?
I thoroughly enjoyed it because you had like the aesthetic of Mexico's a city, and you had all the people like cheering on the battle between actual champions. Fuck Gita. But yeah, I really enjoyed that battle. I think it was the best of the 3 storylines. Final person.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Yeah.
It's like it felt like the best battle of all for the rivals, but then again, it was Nimona. She was definitely our strongest rival.
Yep.
It was a good battle, good scenes. Definitely felt more like a final fight than whatever the champion fight was.
Yep.
Way more challenging, funner, better atmosphere.
Way better atmosphere.
Yeah, better than just you're just on top of this random building in the middle of Paldea.
The OST was fire as well for that battle, and yeah, like it had everything great about it. Like overall, I really liked that. But did it save the Pokemon League? I don't think it did. I don't think it saved the Pokemon League. Pokemon League was just alright. You know what I mean? Gita not being good, and this is for the future games, Big Game Freak. I mean, if you're listening, I doubt you will. But you got to make your champions like how you did before. All right, don't ever make them this week ever. All right.
I want to know what were they thinking with this team.
Look, I'm clueless.
They weren't. They just straight up weren't thinking.
Nope. Exactly.
I feel like Gita was like super like thrown together the last minute.
The worst part is there are so many videos already about how Game Freak could have made her team stronger. And most of them we even kept the same team, and they made the team stronger.
Right.
Yeah, they kind of screwed the pooch on that one.
Okay, so I wanna get into so we talked about the victory road, I think, and we are gonna talk about those other stories as well. But we're gonna what I want to talk about is terrestrialization. What did you guys think about terrestrialization?
Okay, so at first I absolutely hated the concept. It looked really stupid. I thought it was just like a replacement gimmick for Dynamaxing. But once I found out that a Pokemon could turn into literally any other type, and how much that opens up the competitive scene, I actually think it's a really good idea. Like, it will definitely shake up the competitive scene to the point where I believe they were talking about banning it from competitive because of how
only Smuggle has.
Yeah.
But then again, they ban anything at instant.
Yeah. But I think terrestrializing is one of the better competitive gimmicks alongside Mega Evolution. Z moves and Dynamax suck in my opinion, but these two were actually like really, really good.
What do you think, 6M?
No, I have to agree. Competitive, it has to be one of the best, most useful, and well, hard to predict, unpredictable. It's like,
oh yeah,
this is definitely for like the big VCG, the big Pokemon tournament coming up. I want to see what they're gonna do because not only are those always double battles, which is hard to predict it is, but you're gonna have one Pokemon on each team gonna do a Terraxlize, and you don't know who or what type they're gonna go into.
And if they're gonna have like Air Blast or something to completely shatter your entire team structure.
I think. Wait, hold on. Let me look at the VGC rules real quick. VGC. I'm gonna look at VGC rules because I was looking at this.
they only banned so far is it's always two teams, 2v2, 4 Pokemon. They ban legendary and they're banning all like Pokemon's on that level, so they're banning all the Paradox Pokemons.
No.
Yeah, but they did the same to Ultra Pieces, so
Justice for Paradox Tyranitar.
I think they mostly look the VCC just looks at stats.
That's dumb.
Okay, so I want to
first-
correct you on something. All right. So basically, I'm looking at the rules right now. So it says open team list content. As novelty, I'm gonna read this really quick. As novelty, all TPCI events will be played under open team lists. This means that the following data of your Pokemon will be available to your opponent. So that goes as the Pokemon species, ability, held item, all known moves, and Terra type. So basically, that whole question about what sort of Terra type they have is gone.
Okay, but there's still the who's going to terrestrialize and how can I counter this?
They'll know about the Terra typing of every Pokemon basically in the team.
Yeah, but you don't know who you're gonna do.
I mean that's true, but it would be more confusing if they didn't know about Terra types.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it gives a bit more of like a, what am I trying to say? Yeah, I don't know. I guess it kind of levels the playing field a little bit.
It does. Okay, so here's the thing. So they get to know about the Pokemon, the abilities, held items, everything, right? A lot of this stuff, and then even all known moves. A lot of this stuff usually because I've been watching this guy named Glick, Wolfie Glick,
Yep.
who has interesting content, man. Honestly, like.
Oh yeah, Wolfie has a lot of content. I do wish he'd stop asking for subscribers every 10 seconds though.
Me too.
In all his videos.
Me too, but no, I'm not gonna sit here and talk shit about that guy. He's definitely a great guy. I learned a lot from him. So so here's the thing. A lot of this information that you're gonna get for the team, the list, right? Knowing about the Pokemon themselves, the ability, the held items, and all known moves. A lot of this stuff you figure out during the battle itself. You're not really told it directly. But this time around, you know everything. So basically, what this does is that this makes it more strategic in a way where, since you know your opponent knows all your moves and all that stuff, right? You gotta outthink them, and then beat them somehow. It just levels the playing field here.
Yeah.
So I find that interesting, and I like that that they have these rules. So basically, yeah, Terra types. Once again, going back to the topic. Well, did you complete your thought process with this 6M? Did I interrupt you about terrestrialization? Like why you like it?
Oh no, it was still going.
No, it was.
I'm good. You can continue on.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. Competitive wise, I was like, definitely want to see what they're gonna do, especially the VCC, because even though they'll know the type, you don't know who's gonna do it. I mean, it's not like they knew which Pokemon was gonna Mega Evolve. They knew which Pokemon had the Z move. So they hated Z moves because that was a one-shot kill.
Okay, but let's be honest though about that. Like, and I know this is just a small thing, but let's be honest. If you have played VGC for a long time, you're gonna get an idea of what's gonna terrestrialize into what in this whole situation. Because like a competitive player is gonna take that, like and think about different sort of scenarios, and they're gonna be prepared for that. That's why this is more challenging.
I mean, yeah, they definitely can predict some things, but even the VGT, they're still some unpredictable plays. Giant Max proved this all the time. Even though people like they're good Pokemon players, they know like you're probably gonna Giant Max this for power, but people did unpredictable moves all the time.
Yeah.
They one of the VCG winners, they Giant Max one of the weaker Pokemons just to get Protect.
Right.
And it wasn't for that one turn. It was for 2 turns later where they wanted to use Protect. It's like they fought 3 turns ahead of their opponent. It's like,
okay, so you like it because it adds like a whole different layer to like the competitive scene and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's gonna be interesting. And take any Pokemon to any type you want.
Changing it to any type you want. Yeah.
So nice.
So nice. Yeah. It gives room for
No.
those Pokemon that never got the you got the chance to compete. Actually, like they got like terrible typings, for example. Like I'll say
like Snow, Grass, Ice, great Pokemon, but due to the 4-time weakness of fire, other types.
Yeah. So yeah, I do like that aspect of things. I mean, the fact that your Terra types basically changes you into a different Pokemon. I agree with that. Um, I'll say I guess I'll give my thoughts about it. I really when it comes to like the look of the guys, I felt they were kind of
look is awful.
I just felt they were kind of lazy because all they do is just go sparkly, which is it's great, yay! But like we love shiny objects, yay! But then they get that stupid hat based on the type.
The hat is significantly. It's like one of the worst aspects of this game, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I don't think they needed that hat or something. I mean,
I know like the ghost type one is a cool like throwback to the ghosts from red and blue.
Yeah.
But like the rest of them are lazy. Like the bugs just get antenna.
Mm-hmm.
The electric types get like a giant light bulb. It's kind of dumb.
Isn't the seal type an axe on the back of the head?
Yes.
It's literally just an axe embedded in their forehead.
It is an axe, yeah.
It looks so stupid.
Yeah. Even though I do find it edgy and cool and stuff, but at the same time, I don't like it. I don't like the. I just don't like the look of the transferalization. I actually prefer Dynamax's look when it comes to that. Like, I mean, Gmax. I like the Gmax forms, because they at least look completely different. But no, Dynamax. Nah, Dynamax was just them going huge. Gmax is what I preferred. Like I like form changes a little bit. So there's no concept. What's up?
The worst part about this, because of all the different forms, that's a different sprite for every Pokemon.
Yeah.
So how much data did they race for the Pokemon game for the coding? It's just the different characterization of every single Pokemon.
Do you think it's gonna be bad if they were to have different forms?
No, all I'm saying is that there is 16 Pokemon types, right?
Yeah, about 18.
How many Pokemon are in the game?
400 roundabout.
Times that by 16.
Yes, they gave everyone like a different hat, but it's also easier than going in and like
but still, because of the color of the characterization and all the hats, they had to add a different sprite into the code. So that whole thing has a different code.
Yeah.
For every Pokemon.
Yeah.
Because they needed that Pokemon with that hat on, and that color crystals. That's a lot of coding, a lot of storage space being used up by one game mechanic.
And that's why we didn't get any building interiors, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just I just didn't like I didn't like the look. As far as the concept is concerned, so basically the concept works like this: is that you terastallize into whatever Terra type you have. Every Pokemon has their own Terra type. Some of them have their own Terra types. Like you can be fire. Like if you're fire type, you can be just fire. And then the main thing is the stab bonus that you get. Like if you're fire type and you go into fire type Terra type, you can do like 2 times the stab bonus damage.
Yeah, you're getting like the equivalent of a super effective hit off just by terrestrializing and using the same type attack bonus like that.
Right. Or you can change into a complete different one. And then, I mean, it's not like you can change into a completely different one right away. You got to have the Terra type for it. So, you can change it.
That's easy enough to change.
Which is easy enough to change, exactly. So, you can change to a different one and then use like one of those moves that you have in your list, or use a Terra Blast thing. Terra Blast basically is like hidden power. Basically, it turns into whatever typing you turn into when it comes to terastallizing.
But also becomes a special or physical depending on which stat is higher.
Exactly. So they made this gimmick a thing, and we know that this gimmick is not gonna stay forever. Obviously, this is gonna be the only game that's gonna have this gimmick, pretty sure. And they're gonna dump this one. They're gonna go to the new one. But I felt like look wise it was the weakest. When it comes to like how much it changes the meta game, I guess. I found that to be fun. I'll be honest. Like I found that to be fun. Like the ability to change your typing into something completely different. It adds like a very it adds like a very unpredictable as element of things. You know, like you just never know what your enemy is going to turn into, for the most part.
Yep.
And that's very interesting to me. It gives more flexibility to some Pokemon that would normally not have the ability to actually be competitive. You know, like you can use them in battle and try to win, but still it doesn't it still doesn't fix a lot of things because some Pokemon don't like and I've talked to this with like Amaterasu, you know, my other friend, that when it comes to team building and stuff like that, I feel like some Pokemon have lost some moves that they could have had in their movesets. And
Scald.
yeah, Scald is definitely gone. Like, you know, there's some moves that just got taken away. But we're going too much into competitive. I don't want to get into that right now because we still got to talk about the two other stories. But overall, Trustalization, I think we all agree that it's a good concept, but it's not something that like let me ask you this. Would you want this concept to continue after this game?
Depends on what the next concept would be, honestly.
Yeah, I was. All the concepts we have, I think this one and Mega Evolutions are probably the only ones I would like to see return.
Yeah.
Sorry, Z-moves were cool looking, but those were way too powerful, and the Dynamax and G-Max just really took too much time, like the animation wise, because you had the animation of you doing it, then undoing it.
Yo, can you imagine a Mega Evolution Pokemon with Trustalization? Like that'd be crazy.
that would break so many of them.
My God. Yeah. So Mega Evolution, I agree. Mega Evolution and Trustalization would be something that would be nice to have. I mean, if they're not gonna have, I'm just not a big fan of the look, honestly. If they're gonna have it, like I just hope they tune up the look. But I don't think they're gonna have it after this. This is just the concept of this whole game. But yeah,
I'm not thinking of Mewtwo Y with Psychic Trustalization.
Oh my God, nightmares. And there's some Pokemon that okay. Here's the thing. There's some Pokemon that can't even use Trustalization, because they're gonna be too broken. There is one Pokemon in particular. You know, Ninjask, the other dude.
Oh, dude. Yeah, people always slow down people. They always like no rules.
DLC.
You think they're gonna introduce him in the DLC?
I really hope they don't, for that sake.
Yeah, so that guy is too broken.
I mean, that does have a weakness, but the problem is that weakness is gonna be so hard to do.
Right.
Because there's a lot. Most people won't prepare for that.
Right.
See, Ninja's Miracle doesn't protect him from certain moves and damage.
Sandstorm, but Sandstorm is the only like weather condition that actually does damage now.
Yeah, and for Ninja to be immortal, he needs air balloon. So Sandstorms will be the only way they could kill him.
Yeah. Yeah. So
well, I mean, if you had Mold Breaker on a Pokemon like say Haxorus with Earthquake, you could also because that would ignore the ability.
Doubles,
you'd be able to hit him with like, I don't know, Dual Chop or something and take it out easily enough.
Yeah. So basically now I want to get into Irwin's story. Arvin's, whatever his name is. And we're gonna get into like the whole we're not gonna I think we know a little bit about the story itself, but I mean we're gonna kind of talk about a couple of elements of it, I guess. So here's the thing. We did the Titan battles in this one. And I think there were like four Titans that we had to do.
5.
Okay. Thank you for correcting.
6 technically, actually.
Okay, there's 6 or 4 or 5.
There's 6 because if we count the 5th one that gives you the ability to like climb rocks, that's a Tatsugiri and Dozo.
Okay, so his storyline is something that you would want to do early on. Cool tip. Yeah, this is his storyline is something you would want to do early on if you want to be able to explore more of the game, because you unlock the ability of the legendary. Um, Overall, like you got to do these 10 battles, which were basically kind of like raids, but not terrestrialization. And I mean they were kind of repetitive in the beginning.
Alpha Pokemon.
Exactly, alpha Pokemon. Yeah, and this is a concept taken from Sun and Moon.
Yeah, Alpha Talon Pokemons, Alpha Pokemons,
Mm-hmm.
Titan Pokemons.
Yeah, so
Same Pokemon, just different name.
And they're bigger.
Yeah.
And they're generally bigger than they are normally, right? So basically, yeah. I do love bigger Pokemon. I love seeing bigger Pokemon and stuff and battling them. But the stories were kind of repetitive, and for most part, if you also watch my streams, like I basically skipped majority of this till I got to the last point where I got the power.
You haven't finished the last part, have you?
I've finished it. I finished the whole game.
Hmm.
So
I must admit.
basically, the goal was for Armin to basically, and correct me if I'm wrong here, was to basically get some ingredients for boss. I call him boss. To get ingredients Mobosive, yeah. There you go, thank you. He needed to get ingredients to help out his Mobosive, whereas we gave our food with that ingredient to help out our legendary. His Mobosive was first off, he kind of looks like an old dog already. So I mean, I get why his design is kind of like an old dog. It was kind of like it was kind of suffering because it wasn't the same again. So he needed to get that ingredients. And in the beginning, I was thinking that maybe he was just making this up. Maybe he was like an evil character, who wanted my sympathy. But no, that's not the case. So yeah, overall, when it comes to his story, let's talk about Armin's story. Well, what did you guys think about that overall? Let's start with you, Steelers.
Let's see. I thought Arvin's story. I think we've already gone over this, but I thought Arvin's story was pretty good. Like, okay, the cutscenes in the caves with the Herba Mystica was basically copy and pasted, and there were just like a few loading errors that I went through with mine. So, but like outside of that, like the overall like character development with him and his dog, and then I guess us and our legendary, I enjoyed it.
Okay, so I know we did go over this. We gave like a general thought about it, but we never really dived deep into it. That's why I'm kind of diving deep into it. You know that Mobosive stuff, right? For example, he needed that ingredients just to help him Mobosive. Did you feel connected to him and his Mobosive a little bit when that element was?
I think at the very end when they had like that actually neat cutscene. Yes, but also voice acting would have significantly helped that part.
Right. What did you think about his storyline, Armin's? 6M.
Oh. Well, his full storyline is probably the saddest in a Pokemon game in a long time. His mommy daddy issue.
Oh, we're gonna get into that more when we talk about Area Zero, which is gonna be the final thing we're gonna talk about.
Yeah. But no, that counts as Arvin's storyline now.
It does.
But yeah, the part with his dogs, like, if it had voice acting in the last scene, and really, his whole story comes down. If there was voice acting, it probably would have been way better.
The voice acting needed to be in this whole game, though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real.
Seriously.
Yeah. Especially because of my mouth, it just ran out of oxygen after I read out everything. But anyways, that's my fault. But yeah, his storyline definitely needed voice acting though. It would have felt more impactful for sure. Is there anything else you want to add to that?
I mean, you guys basically hit it. It's one that must be done for your legendary.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do it kind of as soon as you can, most of the time. Just for the more free reign.
Yeah, but it was like it was repeated, wasn't it?
Played at some points.
Yeah, but it was his story was kind of repeated, right? Like for most part.
Yeah.
You just did the same
thing.
Kind of
Yeah. Repetitive.
Yeah. There you go. You kind of did the same thing. Beat the Titan, and then your guy just eats. I honestly think if they're gonna like in the future, like I'm just saying, if they're gonna add different storylines, they just gotta stop that repetitive stuff. Because
Yeah.
they gotta stop. Like I don't want to just do continuously the same thing over and over again. I mean, I get it. I get it after like 2 tries. I get it, but I don't want to just. I want something different. You know, with like at least the Victory Road story, they kind of tried to do it differently with your rival not always appearing. They kind of tried to make it differently, but they were repetitive with this one.
Rivals not always appearing. We meet different Elite Four members.
Yeah, right. But with this guy, his story was. I mean, the stuff you did was kind of repetitive, and you just had an idea. You just beat big guy, but there isn't much to it outside of that, I think. So we're not gonna talk about that anymore. We're gonna talk about something that I really did find fun, which is what was I'm gonna butcher this again. Was it Starfall something?
Starfall Street.
Starfall World.
Starfall Street, yeah. So I gotta say, I really enjoyed, even though this guy repetitive as well, defeating the bases. Like I enjoyed defeating the bases, but before you defeated the bases, the storyline of the whole Team Star, it hit me. I'm gonna be honest. It made me feel in the heart a lot. Like power of friendship made me feel that. You know, like all that bubbly stuff. It made me feel it because every one of them, like one thing I enjoyed about this game a lot is the fact that the like these are guys that are considered the baddies, but they're actually not bad people. They were bullied from school, so they were put in this position where they were forming groups to stand up for themselves in a way, and all of them, each of them in the team, had like a certain ability, like a certain role to play. Like one was like I think it was the best one, Evie, whatever her name, Eerie, yeah, her Eerie, I think her name was, yeah. So she was basically the one that taught them how to battle. There was another one that taught them how like that made the machine, you know, the Pokemon they had.
Giacomo making all the Team Star music, which is I think the Team Star grunt theme is probably my favorite theme in this game.
I agree. I love it. I would hear it all the time.
And the Cassiopeia theme is really good too.
Right. This is
so Penny's theme.
Excuse me?
Penny's battle theme.
Yes.
Yeah. So I really loved, like, I love this story. I love the stories of these guys. Like, I really loved how they got together and then made this group, and how they're not completely bad. It just gave me like a lot of Naruto vibes. Their ending was fantastic as well. Oh, the ending was a bit of a plot twisty, to be honest with you. I mean, the fact that these guys didn't even know who Penny was, was like, what? So they were talking to a random voice this whole time, and they eventually found out who is the real voice. It's Penny. But
I think the reunion at the end also really, really needed voice acting.
Yeah.
The reunion, like them actually like getting to meet Penny for the first time, that needed voice acting so bad.
Right. It did. I enjoyed like just going inside and just beating up a bunch of Pokemon and then getting to the finish line and then actually fighting the sick bosses and stuff. And man, I gotta say the music, like you said, the music was so good. I enjoyed this, although I didn't like Penny's story at all. It was just weird. What did you think about this overall, Steelix?
I, for the most part, enjoyed Starfall Street. I guess it was kind of cool getting to see like a little bit of a backstory as to why they decided to like just abandon the school. And it was nice that seeing like the director, like the previous director was the one who'd kind of like glazed over the incident, and the director Clavel had absolutely no idea that that was happening and genuinely wanted to help these kids. I think that was a really nice touch.
Yeah, I agree. Is that all you got to say about that, Steelix? Or
Oui.
Okay, oui.
Yes.
Okay, whatever that means. Sure. 6M.
That's French for yes.
Okay.
You know that.
Dude, I don't know French. Okay, 6M. How about you? What did you think?
Well, you guys kind of hit the nail on the head. I think it really needs voice acting, especially for like Penny on the phone. Nobody knew it. That definitely needed voice acting because you need like some kind of voice over it to make it seem like it was a different character.
What would that voice be? Would it be like Darth Vader just speaking or something? What do you think?
No, I was
kind of like.
I was thinking more like Persona at one point where they had Fukuba on the phone with a different voice. It's like, yeah, the voice is slightly different. They just need to be a slightly different voice.
Right. I mean, definitely. Once again, voice acting was definitely needed for this one. They did, and then like, Penny had like a whole evolution team as well, which is so easy to beat. I was like,
I mean, that one wasn't made to be strong. That was made to be like, this is what I want. This is my team.
Oh, it's to make you want to have an evolution team.
No, it was supposed to be like, this is the team that person wants. This is
Yeah, it
what
wasn't
they
supposed
want.
to be like going for super strength or anything like Nimona.
Well,
It
yeah.
was just like, this is my team. This is what I relate to.
Well, I mean, it did. It did make sense, but it would have been more sicker if they just had a new evolution in the team and then been like.
I mean, yeah, a new Eevee was definitely needed. I mean, some people say it's not, but a lot of people say it is because there's some types that would be cool as Eevee. Just finish out the types.
Yeah. I just don't know why they're resisting and doing that, but that's another complaint for another day. But overall, yeah, I did like I did like this whole story. I really did feel for those baddies in this one, and I think it's a great way to change it completely. It's not like we're supposed to hate these guys, unlike the previous generations, which was not bad.
Like Team Galactic or Plasma or anything
right.
like that.
We're not supposed to hate these guys. We're supposed to kind of hate them in the beginning, but then warm up to them. And I actually did get warm up to them. So I like that. Overall, yeah. That was good and all. And so basically, we finish these 3 stories, and then we get into my favorite element of the game, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Area 0. Okay. I did also mention this on my stream, but I will say it here. But I felt like the look of the Area 0 was fantastic. Like right when I entered it, I saw this whole different world. That's completely different to what I've seen outside.
A whole new world.
It gave me Xenoblade Chronicle vibes. I know that you kind of started playing that game.
It did,
but yeah, like the further you get, the more you like realize just how much it feels like a Xenoblade map.
Yeah, basically it's like a fantasy world where things look pretty natural and pretty, stuff like that, but the graphics are still shit.
Yeah, the fact that the sun is always out, the grass is like so bright for no reason. It's a little uncanny. And then you start taking into account the Paradox Pokemon walking around.
Oh yeah, that's you know what, we're gonna talk about the Paradox Pokemon pretty soon actually. That's
I've shiny hunted all of them.
That's a whole different. That's like a whole different concept there actually, that I would love to talk about. And then the Paldea forms as well. We'll talk about those too actually.
Yeah.
But overall, like Area 0 was like very beautiful. This is where like the Paradox Pokemon were. And I guess this is a good way to talk about them before we get into the actual story about the Area 0, because Paradox Pokemon are really relevant here. Okay, so first off, they didn't give us. I'm gonna talk about the Paldea forms. They didn't really give us that many Paldea forms. The regional forms, and what we got were basically three different Tauroses and a Wooper. Basically, that's it.
I'm kind of happy with the fact that that they're not like oversaturating the regional forms market. That's all I have to say. Like I'm kind of happy that they're not going and adding like 6 regional forms per generation kind of thing.
Why is that the case?
I don't think all Pokemon really need like a regional form. I don't know. I think like the original designs were better, and unless they have like a distinct like reason for adapting a particular way, we don't really need that like a different form for them.
Do you agree with the ones that we already have?
Are we talking about like this region, or like past ones like Alola?
No, we're talking about Wooper, and we're talking about Tauroses. Are you happy with
Wooper? I don't know how much I feel like it fits in overall, because you just find it near any body of water like you would a normal Wooper. So I don't think it exactly fits in, but the fact that this region is based on Spain, the Tauroses make quite a bit of sense.
Tauros makes sense because of it being based on space, but the Woopers make sense based on lore. If you read the Pokemon decks before, Woopers used to live on land, and they used to be poison types.
Right.
That was one of the lores of, and one of the Pokédexes about Woopers before. That their purple things were poison, and they used to live on land.
And then it evolves into this new Pokemon called Clodsire.
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 Okay, I love Clodsire. I really do, but I don't know. Same kind of thing with the Wooper. I don't know exactly how he fits in, other than like obviously being adapted for land. But he looks like more like he should live in a swamp, like the Great Marsh in Sinnoh.
Mm. He looks like a donut.
Alright, so he
Does he
makes.
look like a donut?
I don't know.
Yeah, he looks like a long john.
No, he doesn't. Whatever.
So Taurusa's forms were pretty sick, right? Like the water one, and then you had the fire one. I mean, they weren't that different. I'll admit they didn't change them too much. They had slightly differences, but and then you got the fighting one. I think overall Tauros was awesome in this. I'm a big fan of Tauros itself, but
Tauros is one of the ones that like kind of taught us how like if you get a Pokemon Scarlet and Violet player in the same map, it like the regional like the game exclusives show up within your radius. He was one of the big like teaching moments for us too, because you were just wandering around on your own. You're like, where's the Violet exclusive Tauros? And then as soon as I showed up, you started seeing them all over the place. Once I got the water sandwich.
Exactly, which is something that we didn't talk about yet either, which is the multiplayer of the game, but we'll talk about it soon. But overall, like, what do you agree that do you like the new Paldean forms that we have, Felix? I mean, no, not Felix. Sorry, 6M.
Like I said, it was like the 3 torsos make sense, but really they could have done with just 2 or 1.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they all make sense. Wooper 1 fixed lore wise. Love the second evolution of the new Wooper.
Clodsire's top tier.
Yeah, that is top tier. No matter what you say, that thing is so adorable.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you this question. This is just like a what if question. I mean, first of all, I'll say that I do like the forms. Like I really love the Tauros got it, and that Wooper. I'm not a big fan of it, but it kind of makes sense because of the Pokédex, I guess. But it just I don't know. But I want to ask you this, like, so I mean, they will add the DLC in the future DLC. What do you want to see another Paldean form? And if so, which one? Who do you think needs to get one?
Honestly, I don't think we need any other Paldean forms. But if I absolutely had to pick someone,
yeah.
That's a tough one.
You can think about that for a little bit. I'll go to 6M then.
I have to say Combi.
Why would you want Combi to be a regional?
Really, mostly because
okay, let me throw this at you right now. Do you think the Pokemon that we already have in the game are gonna actually get regional form? I don't think that's ever happened.
I don't think all of them will be. Maybe I could see like a handful, like each new gen might.
No, but no. What I mean is like Combi is already in the game. How can it get a regional form and it's already in the game?
Oh, I didn't even. I don't know everybody who's in the game. I didn't look at the whole Pokédex.
Oh, okay.
So excuse me.
No, it's okay. But like, I'm just asking. Let's say there's a lot of Pokemon that got Dex cut. So if you were to look in the past, well, like there's been Lapras, Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee, all these Pokemon. They're not in the game. Like,
I think no. Lapras will be interesting to see a different regional form of, because it would fit lore wise with Lapras, because they were supposed to be like hunted to extinction.
Yeah, they were hitting extinction levels.
So yeah, so they could lore there could be a Lapras out there, like a whole breed of Lapras regional forms that just grew up differently.
Mm-hmm.
The way of survival.
Mm-hmm.
So that would definitely work with Lapras.
I guess
I think.
What's up?
Oh, go ahead.
No, what were we gonna say?
For mine, I'd say probably another Basculin, like a different striped Basculin.
Oh, another one. Okay. But we are gonna get like another. We're gonna get the evolution of it eventually.
Vasculegion, yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one. That's gonna be sick. So, when it comes to Paldean form, I mean, there's gonna be many Pokemon that could be Paldean. Honestly, I'm not gonna go off the lure, guys. Mine is gonna be just a off top the head pick. I honestly want I mentioned it already, but I want like Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, and what's that tops Pokemon? I forgot.
Hitmontop.
Hey, Hitmontop. Yeah, I want them to get something else. Like I want them to either get an evolution or something else, like some regional form or something. I would want them or let me think, not just them. Like okay, so when it comes to like the new evolutions, we're gonna get into that too. But I'm glad Dunsparce got something nice. You know, it evolved.
As memeable as it is, yeah, I think it's fitting.
Yeah, I would like if I was to like go for a Paldean form, I would go for someone that is basically something that needs an evolution, but it's not gonna get an evolution, but a new form of it is gonna give it an evolution. So something like something like that in the past. I mean, there isn't any Pokemon on top of my head right now that I can think about that could get a Paldean form and be awesome. Man, I did wish they did something with Gyarados. I mean, make them something different would be nice. But they already have Gyarados in this game. So basically, let's talk about the evolutions in this game, right? Okay, so we got new evolutions. Okay, we got new evolutions and the RF forms, right? Which are fake Pokemon.
No.
Like Toadscruel, and then you got
Trio?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Wiglet and Wugtrio.
Yeah, Wugtrio, yeah. You got Wugtrio. You got those. I mean, in this game by itself, they got the Paldean forms, they got the RF forms, and then they got
Paradox.
So basically, you got like 3 different concepts, and I'm not sure if they're gonna be able to continue these concepts in the future. But and then we got new evolutions as well, which some of them were great. I mean, I don't want to make this too long, but overall, just let me know some notable things from each of them that you liked. I mean, Paradox forms were great, right?
Most of them were great.
I love the Paradox Pokemon so much.
There's a few interesting design choices, like Magma Zone.
I was not expecting him to get anything like that, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd like to give him legs though.
Yeah.
I like. Oh, go ahead.
There's something great about that Jigglypuff. I don't know.
Really?
I mean, I didn't expect the Jigglypuff to look more to be more stronger than.
If you actually look very close to the face, it's a vampire.
Yeah, it's like a vampire. Yeah.
I honestly thought that Screamtail was one of the weaker Paradox designs.
Oh, you didn't like it?
I'm not a fan of it. Not really.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm just weird.
Okay, so let me ask you this: which Paradox form was your favorite?
Ooh. So obviously it's gonna be from the Violet because they have the best Paradox Pokemon.
I mean, they all. That's kind of true.
I would say Iron Valiant is my favorite.
That so which one is that? Like, is that like
That's the
that's
Gardevoir / Gallade.
Yeah. Okay.
I absolutely love so the effect with the Paradox Pokemon on the futuristic side. I love how all of them have like that unique color to them that has like that super energy feel. You know, it's got like the spots and stuff. So like in Iron Hand's case, it's like the yellow of his hands. Volcarona, it's like the orange wings, and they'll have like that sparkly pattern in them. With Iron Valiant, I love the pink. And the fact that it will literally remove the blades from its arms and turn into a staff. That is so cool to me. In addition to it just takes like the best parts from Gallade and Gardevoir, merges them, and makes it a robot. I love it so much.
Yeah, so in the future they could actually look like that, which is cool. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like how they fuse them together, and you know they're kind of like it's not like they're gender specific and either. Like it's not like it's not like you can think it's a male or you can think it's a female. It's just like
Yeah.
it's a different Pokemon. It just looks like a different Pokemon. It looks like a different monster, which I like.
Yep.
Okay, so what about yours? What's your favorite 6M? Probably
Well,
Paradox.
well, to start off real quick about the Paradox, that most of them are actually designed based on like myths or stories, like the what is it? The mushroom one. He's based on like the the swamp monster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So my favorite of them has to be actually Tyranitar.
I approve.
Who turns into I think it's a thunder and steel type, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
thunder rock, sorry.
yeah, but
Oh, yeah, rock and electric.
Yeah.
hey, I have to go Tyranitar because Godzilla, Mecha Godzilla, right there, baby.
That is Mega
And if you
Godzilla.
find like the shiny one where it's completely unpainted, it looks pretty similar.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but hey, most of them are based on like stories like that, like Mothra.
Mm.
You got
Yeah.
Mothra there. You got Godzilla, Mech Godzilla. Iron variants. They're supposed to be based on Jackie, whatever the robot name is.
Right.
I
Robot
like
that fought-
I like the Salamence too, just because like they bring up that Mega Evolution occurs within this specific like universe. Because you know how they had like the two different theories for like in one world Mega Evolution exists, but in games like Pokemon Black and stuff they don't.
Yeah,
This confirms that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are in the same like kind of like universe as Mega Evolution because they specifically reference like Hoenn. Well, they say like it looks similar to a certain phenomena that occurs in other regions.
Yeah, I was gonna say my favorite is definitely Salamence. I really loved the Salamence Paradox form. It looks pretty sick. It's like a mixture of Mega Evolution with something with like its regular form. It's like a mixture of that. I think it's overall sick, but the only thing that turns me off is the fact that it's a dark and what is it, dragon type, right?
Yeah, and then the fairy can just sweep it.
Well, the fairy can definitely sweep it, but it's like it's supposed to be in the air, but it's not. It's not in the air. That's what kind of turns me off about it. Otherwise, I think it's sick. But I'm gonna cheat here. I'm gonna cheat. And you guys can say your second favorite as well, all right? I love the fact that Donphan got so much love. I'm a big fan.
Oh
of it.
yeah.
Like
which Donphan do you like more?
That's the problem. I can't decide. But
They're both too good.
They're both too good. But I like the old one. I like the mammoth one, the fighting and ground type from the past. I like that one.
Great Tusk.
Okay, great talk. So, what is your guys' second favorite Paradox? We're not gonna go top three. What is second?
Iron Moth.
Iron Moth, which is Volcarona.
Volcarona.
Why did some Pokemon get so much love? Like Donphan got so much love, Volcarona got so much love. It's weird.
I mean, Donphan needed love. Donphan was always a fan favorite Pokemon, but really never got love.
Yeah, Donphan definitely needed it. All right, so who's your second favorite 6M?
Oh, which one is that? Delibird.
That thing came out of nowhere.
I was gonna say, just a meme out left field. I love it.
How is this thing good? Oh my god.
Bro, have you seen its special attack and speed stat? They're insane.
I know, no, that's what I'm saying. It's like I can't believe they made they did something with Delibird. They made it legit good. Like
good stat wise. Bad move pool wise.
But it's still workable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's still decent.
Workable. It's workable on a Hail team.
I mean, you compare it to the trash it was. I mean, it's way better. It's way better. Move pool wise.
Actually, it's not hail. It's snow now.
Snow, whatever.
Man, I got a grammar guy here. Anyways, but yeah, overall, that's what we think about the Paradox. But we're gonna get into the Area Zero now because Area Zero exposes what this game is about. You either got mommy issues or you either got daddy issues. Either or.
Your game.
And you choose which one Arvin gets.
you never know. But what I really like is like because like I was actually like looking at this deeply. So you go into these different rooms. You gotta activate something, right? You gotta activate something just to probably go down more or something.
Yep.
More place opens. But in there, they give there's like a storybook of like the whole mother and father issue. You know, like what they were doing with the professors, what the professors were doing. So you got to read a bunch of their backstory and stuff like that. But I do like the fact that they do mention Armin's mom in Violet, and they do mention Armin's dad in Scarlet. So I love that they added that because it shows that he does have both parents, but they just did something completely dumb. They just kind of abandoned the child.
Yep.
I
They
really
walked out.
I really like that because it makes me feel sorry for the kid, and I love crying. And like I said, the Area Zero was the best part because it was nice looking, and then the story just got better and better as you went on. Especially if you read the books that are around the switches and stuff like that. But yeah, like. So what did you guys think about the story a little bit? The story element of Area Zero. What did you guys think about that?
I think it's super intriguing. The fact that a time machine just happened, like, we don't know where this time machine came from because I don't think it explicitly states like the professor built it, or because they were talking about like how they saw the Pokemon 200 years ago and with Heath and the expedition team. So we don't know if the time machine was like when it was exactly created. I think the implications with it are huge. Like, I really want to know what, like what in the future caused these Pokemon either adapt like robotically or caused them to turn into robots. Like, was there a mass extinction event and humanity just tried to like recreate them? Because I know in Iron Valiant's Pokedex entry it says it's like based off of a paranormal magazine as like a mad scientist robot invention or something. So, and I think in Tyranitar's Dex entry, they talk about it being like a Tyranitar from 1 billion years in the future, which is an insane amount of time to think about. So there's just a lot of implications that I'd like to expound upon in the next, like, in the DLC even. Like, I really want to like check out what the future looks like in this game.
I mean, we all know we're getting a DLC, and we're all knowing the third legendary has to be in that DLC.
Right. You know, I did want to add something to that. So, like I did say that when you go into Area Zero, you kind of realize what the version exclusive stuff is more because Violet, Violet. I don't know why I call it Violet. Okay, Violet is basically based on basically the future, right? So the what's his name, Miraidon, right? Which is Violet's main legendary, box art legendary. He's basically based on the future, and then you got the past, Koraidon from Scarlet. So basically, when you get into Area Zero, you kind of realize the differences in the versions themselves. When it comes to the story itself, like that's when you realize that we're playing sort of a different game. And what's great is the fact that the professors themselves, which we're gonna talk about pretty soon, they're either the mommy or the daddy of Irvin, and their look overall resembles the past and the future.
Yeah, we got either
Even
caveman
our
outfit or
names.
super like technologically advanced guy.
Yeah. I don't know why they made the father the technically advanced guy and why they made the mother living in the past. I don't know why. Don't ask me. But yeah, I like the way they look. Kind of. I mean, I could, you know what, guys. In a way, and this is something I noticed a lot. I could definitely see the mother and the father becoming the legendary Pokemon themselves, because the mother's design concept kind of looks similar to the design concept of Koraidon. And then the father's design concept kind of looks similar to basically Miraidon. Like, that's what I think. What do you think about this overall, 6M?
What I think about the story?
Yeah, like the story. What did you think about the overall story and the
Oh,
past and future?
definitely one of the saddest ones in Pokemon.
All right.
That whole storyline right there.
Okay.
The whole area Zero itself is beautiful. All the Paradox Pokemons. There's still more there. We know it. Definitely because of DLC. help explain everything. Hopefully,
I guess I will have to reveal something that is more spoiler than spoiler is spoiler.
Okay.
Apparently, the sad part is, and it's very hard for me to say this because I'm not because I'm acting one of those doctors that are about to tell you something. That basically the mother and the father basically are dead.
Yeah, that hit like a truck when I realized that when the robot version of the professors was like, yeah, they died. I was like, I'm sorry, they did what? In a Pokemon game?
I
And
mean,
I just
we
like
in
go
Pokemon
ahead.
games we talked about death before, but there were always death like Pokemon.
Yeah. And then one of like the more significant characters in this game just dies. And you're like, wow. That's crazy. Um shoot, what was I gonna say? I also think it's really cool how like the AI that the professors programmed realized how flawed the professor's vision was. Like throughout the whole time machine arc, it's like is protecting the time machine the only thing they cared about? Because that's when they like locked down your Pokeballs and stuff, and it was insane because the AI was questioning their own like motives and stuff.
Yeah. Do
I
you
found that really cool.
do you want to add anything to that, Six Sam?
Not really. You hit the nail on the head.
I mean, that's why I brought him here. So yeah, like honestly, the both both people's motivation kind of made a lot of sense. Because they wanted to explore, like the mom wanted to explore the past, the father wanted to explore the future, and in order to do that, they had to leave their child behind, unfortunately, and they left a book over there. While doing this whole research and stuff like that, I don't remember who actually destroyed who, but how
Mhm.
did they exactly die again?
So so the professor, quote unquote, incorrectly gauged like the how strong the legendaries were. So when the more aggressive Maridon slash Caridon attacked the less like like the smaller one, the professor just stood in front of it because they thought that they could, like, I don't know, take a blast from them and proceeded to die.
It's kind of like that Pokemon the first movie where Ash basically stood in front of, I think, Mewtwo or something. And
Yeah, except he doesn't come back.
yeah, I mean, yeah, he just stood against Mewtwo, and he basically technically died, but then a bunch of Pokemon cried and they brought him back. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
that. Um, so basically, they died during their research, trying to protect Pokemon by themselves. And then, so how was the AI created?
Because, well, I mean, the professor wanted like an assistant to help them like carry out the research. So they just created a version of themselves imbued with their memories and experiences and all that.
So they always had one.
Yes, because like since the beginning of the game, when you were first contacted by the professor, that was the AI talking post mortem of the original professor. The AI has been around for, I want to say, a good majority of the time that the original professor was down in Area Zero. I
Yeah,
want to say it's been going for like 20 years or something, but I also don't know how old the professors are. So
yeah. So I found like the concept of this whole thing. I mean, going in the future, going in the past, super interesting. And this is something that the Pokemon did need to explore more, because we did get like Legends Arceus, which is based on the past, and then you saw like how different the abilities and natures, and not natures. We're not gonna talk about natures. Natures are always different, but like the typings of Pokemon were so different. Like Arcanine
yep.
was rock and fire type in the past. So I find that this interesting that they brought this concept to life even more, where we got actually the future forms and then we got the past forms, and I just felt it was cool to see that in the past, like for example, that thing that looks like a Jigglypuff, right? Jigglypuff is
Mm-hmm.
just a weak is known as like a known weak Pokemon, regular Pokemon, right? But this Jigglypuff in the past was way stronger than any Jigglypuff we've seen. Actually, any Wigglytuff we've seen. So I found that to be pretty cool, like how they did that. Like it explains why they're so strong and stuff, and why in the future they're more powerful because of the advancement in technology and them having these different things. I think this is something they can explore more in the DLC, and I hope they give us more intel on that. Like, there's still more to the story, guys. Like, and when the DLC comes out, there's more to the story. Because they never really explored this element, I think, throughout the game itself. Only until you got to Area Zero, and that's what makes Area Zero super interesting, but also makes it sad because we lost our professors due to this experiment they tried to do, and in return, you got to think about Arvin. You can't even think about how he feels, you know, and the fact that he wasn't given the authority to basically fix this whole thing. I was, or you were, you know.
Yeah.
It just made it more personal, but like they hid a lot of things from him. You know, he thought that they kind of forgot him and stuff like that, but they didn't. They always thought about him, but they just had to figure out this.
Keep pushing on with the research.
This research, because this is what the professors are all about too. Like if you look at all the professors that we've seen, they're always researching some different concept of Pokemon, and these guys were researching the past or the future. So, man, we're gonna get into the final battle now. What did you guys think about the final battle?
That music was top tier for the final battle.
Yeah,
very good music.
Okay, so the music was,
overall.
Yeah.
Can we talk about music before we go into the final battle?
Yes.
This is like a side tangent thing.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the gym leader battle theme?
It wasn't that good. I didn't like it.
Yeah, I despise it. It is really bad.
No.
As I said, there was way better music from like one-top battles than the gym leader.
Yeah. I love some of the tracks that I love. Let's see. There was the final boss battle versus Penny, the Team Star Grunt theme, and I think the Area Zero Encounter theme are like my 4 favorite themes in the game.
Area Zero. Sorry.
Those are all good ones.
Area Zero one is actually so good. Actually, so not only the look changed, like the whole feel, like the look, but the music changed as well, and that's what made it more interesting to me. It's like how different. And you know what? You know what's cool about Area Zero though? Now that I think about it, I just thought about it right now. You know how you kind of enter it, like you go through this portal thing, right? This portal-y place. It looks futuristic, but then when you really enter it, it looks more old. So I like how they added, how they made you feel like you're going in this futuristic world, but then you're going in this world where it's like there's like it's like as if it's a place in the past.
Yep, and that's why it fits really well with like Scarlet, with like the ancient Pokemon running around.
Yeah, because you feel like you're going in this ancient world when you enter it fully, but while you're entering it, you're in this futuristic place. So they added future and the past all together just by visuals, you know, and I found that to be pretty sick. Yeah, I agree. Like the music was sick. For Area Zero though, Area Zero music I liked. I liked Team Star one. Team Star one was fantastic. Yeah,
like it goes from like almost like the Sun and Moon, like Team Skull theme, but then it just ramps up and becomes really, really good out of nowhere.
Yeah,
I legitimately like just sat there for a good 10 minutes listening to it when I first fought some of the Star Grunts. I was like, I'm so glad that I had took 5 minutes to look at my phone, because if I hadn't, I would have defeated the Grunt, no issues, because over leveling, and carried on and never heard the entire theme.
Correct. Okay, so yeah, is there anything you want to add to that, CX6M?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, cool. So you think it's good that we're going to get into the final battle now?
By all means, let's go.
Okay. So the final battle. So in the final battle, we got into the final battle, and basically this is where we had to defeat the AI, because the AI had all Steelix said, had all the memories of the professors, right? So basically we had to beat the stubbornness out of these professors. Like what they wanted to do the whole time, we had to make them realize their vision was not correct. However, to get to this point, we had to use this book, either the Scarlet book or the Violet book. We had to put it down, and then this time, the AI became evil, and they just wanted to beat you with a bunch of Paradox Pokemon. And I overall think the team for the final boss was fantastic because for Violet you got like the future Paradox Pokemon, and for Scarlet you got the past Paradox Pokemon based on the past. So
Yep.
I like that, and their hands. Steelix, you talked to somebody and they said their hands symbolize something.
Well, I went through. So I believe someone pointed out that the just the hand that the professors like throw Master Balls out with, like I think someone said in Pokemon Scarlet, the professor will throw the Master Balls out with her left hand to symbolize like the past. I don't know exactly how like right and left. Like I guess on the timeline, like if you're looking at like a timeline, the left symbolizes the past, right the future. But yeah, I don't know. It was like something, a very small detail.
It was a small detail. I'm not sure if it's true or not. Maybe it is. Who knows? But I just thought it was like an interesting thing to talk about. I guess it was just an interesting thing they did. Like, any attention to detail is good than none, none at all. So they used their future team or the past team. So we're gonna talk about these teams right now. Like overall, what did you think about this whole final battle, Felix?
I really enjoyed it. Like the fact that you're just thrown into a battle with 6 completely unknown Pokemon. Like you know what they're based off of, but you don't know like their actual typings. You're not supposed to unless you spoiled yourself on like his team. But you're just thrown into a match with completely random Pokemon. And you have no idea what to do. Like the panic is pretty real. And I like that it kind of like hypes up your anxiety a little bit because you have no clue what's gonna happen.
Right. There's something else I forgot to mention though, because guys, by the way, like there's some people that just read off of websites and they just talk to you about this. I'm just going off of memory. So there's something else I forgot to mention. Before the final battle, I really liked how it gave you the final battle feel, where like everyone else in your team, basically you had you got together with Arvin. So you basically the 3 people that you actually did the stories with, all 3 of them got together and they. Yeah, 3 owls. They were together interacting. It was like forming the Avengers in a way. To go in this.
Just going down into Area Zero with 3 people, and then Penny's always making the snide remarks. Nemona's completely oblivious, and then Arvin's like,
yeah. Their interactions together were one of my highlights of this game. I feel like their interactions together were so good. Like they really, jumped off with one another really well, just like we are, like hop off from each other. Like when their personalities, get together and stuff, and how different they really do well with that, like kind of how we are right now. I found that to be I really love their interactions. Okay, and I loved how before we went to the final battle, they made us go instead of Arvin. Simply because Arvin, you got to think about this. Arvin facing his parent, that's an AI. And we find out that they're dead. Like, how would that feel? Like, I don't know, man. I don't think anyone in the world could face up to somebody like that. Someone that you care for and love. And you had to fight them in the end. So
I feel like they kind of glossed over like the grieving stage for Arvin. Because he like barely gets to see his who he believes to be his parent, and then they just despawn and go off to the future or past or whatever, and he barely gets to say anything to them. I feel like they should have put like more depth into that, like him interacting with them.
No, I agree with that. But still, I find the battle, like the fact that they put you through, the fact that they chose you to battle this one. It made far more sense to me because if Armin had to do it, it would be very, very sad. And plus, he's not the main hero you are.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't have the plot armor.
No, he doesn't have the plot armor you do. Another thing I really liked is the fact that you actually got to battle some of these Paradox Pokemon before, and like everyone else got split up. Like your teammates split up because they had to make sure these Paradox Pokemon don't leave this place, Area Zero, and cause havoc. So they split up, and then you get to team battle with each of them. And once again, I feel like in any story, right? At least for me, characters make the story. All right, the
Yup.
story should be good, well written, but I feel like if the characters are memorable and good enough, I think that they alone can carry the story. So I loved how we got to team up with each of them, and then we got to go into the whole final battle, and it gave you the final battle feel. All right, that's what I wanted to mention there. Did you want to add anything to that, 6M?
No, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. I mean, these characters are like so memorable. Having a battle with them near the end is like
Yeah, how did you feel about that,
so
Steelix?
good.
Yeah, how did you feel about that, Steelix?
About what? I'm sorry.
It's okay. So you know how you got to battle with each of the characters against these paired?
Oh yeah.
Like, did you feel that was a good touch to it?
I think it was
Uh-huh.
to an extent. I felt like it wasn't exactly necessary. Well, are we talking about like descending into Area Zero or at the very bottom, or both?
Okay, so basically, this is when this is before we actually went to the professor ourselves.
Okay, so we're still going down there.
No, but this is before we actually went to see the professor ourselves. This is when a bunch of the Paradox Pokemon came out, and then we had to make sure they don't get out of Area Zero.
I thought it was kind of cool that we got to battle with all of them, but it was also weird because then they all just abandon you. Arvin goes after 2 of the Iron Hands, or I don't know what the Scarlet equivalent is, by himself, even though it just took you and him to take down a sync 1, and he thinks he can take on 2 by himself. I don't know. I felt like that was a little bit of weird, but past that, I enjoyed the battles with all of them.
I guess I just understood what they were trying to do with it, because usually for the final battle, you want your main character to go and face the final battle. And if all of us were just to go there and then try to battle this one person, it would lose that element of, like, because you got 2 champions in your team.
Versus the Demon King. That loses the thing like Hero versus the Demon King.
Exactly, it makes it lose that. It makes it kind of lose that thing where this is your job to do. You know what I mean? So I guess they had to get rid of the characters, but maybe they could have handled it a little better. I can see that. But yeah, as far as like the final battle is concerned, 6M, I didn't get your opinion about that.
Well, I like it because a big reason why I like it is because technically this is actually the strongest fight in all Pokemon games.
Right.
Yeah, because can you think of any other Pokemon game where you're basically fighting a full team of legendaries?
No.
I mean, I think Volo's fight in Legends Arceus was more difficult, like just personally. But
personally,
yeah, the fact that he has 6 Pokemon, or sorry, he's got 5 with base 570 stats, 1 with 590, and he's got a legendary as well. Even though you don't, it's not exactly 7 in a row like Volo with his entire Cynthia team plus 2 Giratinas, but it's still a fairly challenging fight if you're not prepared.
Yeah.
And I certainly wasn't, because these so you said legendary Pokemon, right? These guys had great stats, because they're legendary. I think, are they considered legendary?
I don't think so. I think they're like
kind of treated like Ultra Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they're like Ultra Beast, I guess. But either way, they're
Ultra Beast secret fight.
Either way, they're like these special type of Pokemon that have great stats. So to face them all at once, it's definitely a challenge. You're facing like the strongest team, easily. You're facing the strongest team because if you were to actually do all the EVs on IVs and junk correctly, this team would destroy you 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go ahead and get into the final battle myself, but I really loved the whole cinematics of it. Like like, to me, it visually looked amazing how the professor just became evil. Like their eyes turned into a different color.
Yeah, and like everything turned yellow. Mm-hmm. They all rise up in this giant pillar.
Yeah.
The time machine activates and a Master Ball just floats down.
Yep.
And he catches it. That's awesome. I love the cinematics.
I love the cinematics of that. And you can tell because this is an AI, right? So like, okay, if you're wondering, oh, why did this person turn evil all of a sudden? Well, guess what? We got a reason, because this is an AI. So you're facing an AI that can be controlled and changed into something different. So
Yeah, in reality, you're just fighting the time machine.
basically, you are fighting the time machine. So this does give you this feeling that you got to save the Paldea region. If you don't, a lot of bad things can happen. A lot more Pokemon from the past or the future can come in and destroy Paldea. So basically, this is you facing the true final boss. This is you trying to save Paldea region or the world by yourself as well, because these Pokemon are dangerous, strong. So like it's like seeing the dinosaurs just come back from the past and trying to, ruin everything we have here. So I loved that concept, and I just feel like if you didn't go there alone, you wouldn't be able to get that feeling of like, okay, this is it. We got to save the world. Otherwise it's game over. And then you fight this team full of these strong, legendary-ish special Pokemon that are from the past or the future. One other reason that this game needs is voice acting is because I would love to hear all the shit talking they do during the battle.
I had to, but I would love to hear like the mommy or the daddy like voice turning robotic.
Yes, instead of just having like weird text characters to replicate it.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. And they're all in Master Balls, right?
Yep.
And that
every single one.
Yeah. And that is the best ball. So you can tell that. I mean, no wonder they're badass. But yeah. One other thing they did though was they kind of crystallized them a little bit. Crystallized them. Sorry. Yeah. It was like no, they crystallized them after. Sorry, that's after. So basically, yeah, you do the final battle, and then they lose, but because they're stubborn, they don't want to accept defeat. So they go all out this time, and I remember when I was facing the final boss, I was thinking this whole time, dude, where is Miraidon? Where is Koraidon?
And there it comes.
and then I was like, this wouldn't be complete without them, because they're the true legendaries of this game. They are the strongest. So where are they? So yeah, then you see the professor's stubborn side come in to play, where they kind of crystallize in a way.
So many redundant systems and stuff.
Yeah, so many things going ballistic. The visuals.
And then you see
yeah,
how illogical the professor is being to keep this stupid time machine up and running, that even his own AI is questioning his motives. Like, why would you do this?
Exactly.
That's all you cared about?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, this is what you want as a person who's watching this. If you want to see destruction and stuff, you want to see someone self-destruct. This is a self-destruct moment where they go even beyond what they were before, and they bring out the actual legendary. And this legendary is someone that beat your legendary that you have. So this one is basically the bully of your legendary, the one that you have. Who is okay, so this is where the story element of things come in with your legendary, which is so good. So here's the thing. All your friends come back after they deal with whatever they had to deal with. But none of their Pokeballs work. They just stop working.
None of your Pokeballs work.
None of your Pokeballs work.
Except for the one that happens to be from the professor.
Which still doesn't make sense. But
what do you mean? No. If you read the text, it said specifically like the Pokeball. So when you catch a Pokemon, apparently like registers to your ID.
Mm-hmm.
So the professor had an ID, and because they caught the Miraidon, it was their Pokeball. Now when the text went through, it said all trainers' Pokeballs locked except for those registered to Professor Turo or Sada, and that's why you're able to throw out Miraidon.
Oh, so basically the story told you in that very last second?
Yep.
Okay, so sorry guys. I mean, this is why I don't remember everything, and thank you for telling me that, Felix. That helps a lot. So basically, the story forces you to use your legendary. But here's the thing: who doesn't love an underdog story? Like, I'm gonna be honest, I love underdog stories, and your legendary is the underdog compared to this legendary. So this whole issue that people have, like I had as well, where like you were just handed the legendary. Well, no. I mean, well, yes, you were handed the legendary, but the thing is, your legendary was the weak one. It wasn't the strong one. It was in this weakest form. It needed help. So now you face you face the bully of the legendary. The reason your legendary actually even ran from that the area 0 was because it was because this other version of him was more stronger and it was trying to hurt you. So,
Yep.
And then we also find out that this is a paradox form of Cycleizer.
Yep. I think one of the best touches to that battle between the Miraidon and Miraidon, or Koraidon, was the fact that they lead off with Taunt, which is it adds to like being the bully kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I didn't think about it that way, but that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first move that they're guaranteed to lead off with is Taunt.
Do you agree with that, 6M?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna get into like the whole. Okay, I'm gonna get into the battle, and I want to get your opinions about this. Okay, so basically, yeah. So that's the cinematics and the story elements and things. Basically, these are the paradox Pokemon. So like, so it fits in with everything else. You know, like this is why you have the future Pokemon from Violet, and then you have the past Pokemon from Scarlet. And then you have the legendaries for each of them from the past or the future that are the paradox Pokemon of Cycleizer. So everything by this point adds up when it comes to the story element and things. But the only way the story was gonna finish was with a good battle, and that's what we got in the end with Miraidon versus Miraidon, or Koraidon versus Koraidon. So what did you guys think about that? I'm gonna start with you, Steelix.
I think overall, like the ending to this game with that final battle was probably one of the best up there with like Pokemon Black and White. This has got to be like one of the best like end games any Pokemon game has seen. And I love it for that. That I know going into this game I was not very excited, but once like the whole Area 0 arc took in and that whole final battle thing, it just ramped up my excitement for the game significantly.
Very nice. What about you? What are your thoughts, Sam?
I have to agree. It has to be one of the best endgame fights in a long time.
Right.
There's like you're using your legendary to fight insane legendaries. Like no other game has done that.
Yeah.
The story and everything else was so beautifully well done to that point. If only we had voice acting.
Yeah, voice acting should have been in the game.
That's something that was missing. I think that's I gotta be honest. These little things. I'm sorry to cut you off, by the way, 6 time. I know you have more
You're
to say?
fine.
Okay. I think these little things add to the game. Like, dude, this game would have been so much better with voice acting. I'm gonna be honest, straight up. I mean, I don't rate this 10 out of 10. I would say maybe I'm gonna tell you my ratings after, but I don't rate this the best game ever. But like, but that's because of the voice acting.
So I was like, how many games nowadays have voice acting?
Yeah.
So many of these games that did not start out with voice acting has voice acting now.
Yeah.
I just bring
Even
it
if
back
the voice
to
acting's not on every single character or every single point, they have voice acting.
Right.
So why can't Pokemon do that?
I'm not sure.
Yep.
I'm not sure. Well,
I just keep comparing it to Breath of the Wild and Xenoblade Chronicles. They're both open world games with voice acting and a lot of features that this game should be expected to have.
Okay, so
as it's coming out years after both of them.
Right. So I'm gonna get into the battle here. So the thing I really liked about this battle is that it was kind of like kind of made for you. It was kind of like it was a battle that was basically planned out for you itself to make the story even more interesting. So they start so the other Miraidon or Koraidon started with taunt, I believe. I think they both learned taunt. So they started out with taunt, so you cannot use any move that buffs your moves. I mean, and I don't think you have
Not
any.
That you have any.
Now that you have any, but that's basically just to taunt you, so that because they're the bully. And by the way, that transformation scene where like, oh, the whole world is gonna be lost if I don't battle.
Yep.
I really love the motivation of Miraidon and Koraidon to basically transform in that time. It made it look more
overcoming their fear.
Overcoming their fear of they had to overcome their fear of this bully to basically fight. And I think that is amazing storytelling.
And that brings that like references the whole Team Star arc too.
Yeah, the whole team. Oh, Team Star Arc. Yeah, that story. Yo, that's a fantastic point. Team Star Arc
It
was
all just like loops back together.
yeah. The Team Star Arc was basically about bullies, right? They became bad.
Yep.
They became the way they were because they had to stand up to the bullies. So in this instance, you have to do the same thing, and that's a nice point, man. I never thought about that. That's nice, fantastic.
Actually, it also combines into the legendary road too, because we're fighting Pokemon stronger than other Pokemons.
We're fighting Pokemon are stronger than other Pokemon.
Yeah, we're like the Titans. We've seen other versions of the Titan Pokemon, but we're fighting one that's stronger than all the other ones.
Yeah,
Just like the Koraidon, we're fighting against one stronger than ours.
right. Yeah, you're right. So basically, the Titans get added to this too. Then yeah, it goes with the. So it goes. Not only does this go with the Team Star storyline where you're fighting the bullies, but then you're also fighting the. It's like you're also fighting the Titans because the Titans are to look bigger than you, right? So they're supposed to look more malicious, I guess. Maybe like someone that it's like a battle between Goliath versus what was that?
David versus Goliath,
David
yeah.
versus Goliath. Yeah, it's like that battle. So I like how they connected all the stories together for this final moment, which was basically made for you. So in the beginning they do the taunt, and then after that, they basically do a move on you that basically is supposed to kill you, but then you have like everyone else over there who's cheering you on and saying, listen, so and so name, you can do it. Don't give up now. You know, power of friendship bullshit, which I live for because I love fairy tale.
Yep, and then you're
you have
right
no
on.
right to say that.
I know, but I'm saying all that power of friendship bullshit that people hate, all of that in that one moment where like you're another thing they know, bro. I think they don't endure, right? That move.
Yeah.
Yeah. The legendaries know endure. That move.
Yes.
So if taunt is for someone to taunt you and as a bully, endure is for you to endure as in like if you're getting bullied, right? You're gonna try to endure the bully. And like that's something that I noticed as well. And symbolism. There's a lot of symbolism. And with endure, like if let's say in the game if someone was to KO you or something, right? You basically take the hit and still survive if you use endure. So that's once again symbolism. So if you're gonna take the hit from the bully and you just endure it and you just stand there. Symbolism. You know, you'll be able to overcome. Then you will be able to overcome your obstacle. So you're basically down to 1 HP, and then your power of friendship. They all pump you up. Your stats get pumped up. And then
the Terra Orb comes out.
And then the Terra Orb in the right moment for some reason, plot armor comes out, and then you terrestrialize, and that one terrestrialize that you do, right? And you terrestrialize into I think a pure dragon.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you have Terra Blast, coincidentally. Would you look at that?
And you have Terra Blast as well. So basically, a dragon beats a dragon, and both of them are dragons. And maybe I'm getting too deep into this, but I think the reason and maybe I could be wrong, the reason Miraidon is electric and dragon is because in the future they use electricity. Obviously they use electrical objects more, right? So that kind of makes sense. And maybe Miraidon is fighting because in the past you have to fight for everything you want. You know, it's like one of those a fight for yourself situations.
Yep.
So maybe that's why the typings also symbolizes that. So yeah, in that very moment, power of friendship, all the shonen bullshit you hate happens in that one moment, and you win the fight, and you beat your bully, and you save the world, and you become, and then you make the AI realize that they're faulty, and then they decide to basically instead of living in that place, they go in the past or the future.
Yeah, because the fact is, if the AI stayed in the present, the time machine would never actually shut down. So they had to go in order for the time machine to stop working, because otherwise the AI would just continue to like try and fight for it.
Correct.
And so they got their final wish. Not only did they stop the time machine, but they also went to their respective past or future, which they've always wanted to see.
Right.
And because they're imbued with the professor's memories, they have like that goal that they wanted to see.
Right.
So
So
it's not exactly like a sacrifice in their eyes. It's more of they still get to do whatever they want. They still get to like get their end goal.
yeah, but they get to get their end goal without disrupting the world by itself.
Yep.
So that's a great ending, I feel. And then once again, this is where I guess we talk about Arvin, who basically didn't get to weep. He didn't get to cry that much. It was kind of I don't know. To me, it was kind of unrealistic. He just moved on all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like even though I knew, even though he admitted that he knew that this was the case, but he didn't know the case. He didn't know this was the case fully, right? So he just instantly moved on, and I just didn't like that part. Otherwise, I felt like it was a great ending where like all four of them just started walking towards the finish line in a sense. You know, we saved the world, yay! You know, happy ending.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
so I guess you guys have nothing to add to that, but we're gonna basically get to the final point of this podcast because you know we are about to get 3 hours. Overall, looking at everything else, how what would you rate this game? I'll start with you, Steelix.
Ooh. Okay. So taking into account performance issues, all the bugs, the lack of voice acting, but the amazing storyline. I like the new Pokemon, the Paradox Pokemon especially. I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10.
What about you, 6ix9ine?
I have to agree with still like 7 out of 10. If it had voice acting, 10 out of 10. Even with the bugs and performance issues.
Some of the bugs
that's
are
the worst
absolutely
part.
hilarious and don't actively like detract. Like the fact that you can just like shoot yourself into the air by landing on an olive in a specific way or something, or like when you're doing the
Or
multiplayer,
the
you get
giant
on your
eyeballs sticking out of your friend's head.
yeah, exactly. So some of the bugs are pretty funny, but some of the ones like the camera clipping through the ground and stuff actively detract from gameplay.
Mm.
So overall, I feel like it definitely needs a few patches to be like smoothed out and performance
Yeah,
to be
I was
fit.
gonna say it needs a few patches, but some of them are bugs or features.
Yeah, I'm hoping that when the DLC comes out, I'm able to give it a higher rating. I'm looking forward to the DLC.
Okay, so I guess I'll give my thoughts about it as well. And by the way, these are not the final thoughts. We're gonna give our final thoughts after this. But basically, if I take into consideration of everything else, the graphics weren't that good. Okay, there was need of voice acting. Okay, no voice acting. Graphics weren't that great. It was buggy as heck. But here's the thing, and most of the games these days are buggy, so I'm not gonna blame this game for it. Nowadays, developers just want to develop a game and throw it out.
They
And then,
push out the game and fix it afterwards,
Yeah,
which is a
so-
dumb strategy, but
it is a dumb strategy, but it is what it is. It is what happens. So I cannot say I want to give lower ratings because of that. And then like when it comes to like the levels, right? Like I feel
Yep.
I feel like you were over leveled
Right.
majority of the time, and you wouldn't enjoy this game unless you actually play with different Pokemon like I did in my playthrough instead of your main team. So you can't just start with your main team and then finish it with the main team because you'll be over leveled by the time you get into the other stuff.
No,
So
there is a route you could take for you never get over level, but it's almost
have to-
impossible to follow because it's so back and forward.
yeah,
yeah.
but the problem is that even if there is a route you can take, right? I'm speaking from a general point of view. Like the fact that you need to take a path like that, the fact that I have to change the Pokemon, not use my main team just to make this game playable, right? It is an issue with the game. It's not an issue with me. So I think that's an issue. So that and then I mean I honestly thought the story was solid for most part. It's just that there was a lot of repetitive stuff, right? So
Mhm.
I'll say basically, and I didn't make this up. I didn't pick you guys, so I agree with you guys. But I agree with the solid 7 out of 10, or I could even go 6 out of 10 if I was being honest.
I mean, I was gonna say 6 is probably the lowest I'll go for it too.
I'll probably go with I could probably go with 6 out of 10 or 7 out of 10. but it isn't the most complete game. Is it a decent game? I think it's a decent game, but it's not the greatest. It has a lot of issues, and would I recommend it for anybody else to play it? Yes, but
Absolutely. It's the best Pokemon game on the Switch, in my opinion.
But keep your expectations low. Don't go into this expecting this to be like one of those Zelda games or any of these other games. It has its issues, but you know, some people online have been overreacting to it, like it's saying, "Oh, this is a buggy mess. This is that." No, it's not like that. Don't listen to them. Go by what you feel is right.
From what I learned about all the people saying like this is the worst game ever, it's all the PC players who never play any Pokemon games.
Yeah.
Like, really?
They're accustomed to like flawless graphics, perfect frame rates, and stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So before we end the stream, I would like both of you to give your final thoughts about this whole stream and stuff, and say your final things before we end it. So I'll start with you again, Steelix. Do you want to say anything?
Cool. I really enjoyed being on here and being able to like go through my thought process with this new Pokemon game that's been it's been out for about a month at this point. It came out on the 18th. Today's the 19th. Yeah. So I'm glad that I got a chance to like to voice my opinions out here and talk about the game and its technical difficulties and all that. So
okay,
thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem. What about you, 6M?
Oh, also, it's always a blast to join you on one of these podcasts, Jazz. Never know what conversations we're going to end up having, or how long.
I mean, I did not realize it's already like 4 a.m. for me. So
I know. We're ending it because we basically covered everything else here.
Yeah. We talked about Ash. We talked about our review on the new Pokemon game.
I do want to do I do want to, like I said, I did want to do podcast.
You want to do another one about the Ash later?
Yeah, we're gonna do that one later, but I'm gonna think about the next podcast for next week or something. I'm gonna think about it. But overall, guys, hey, thank you for coming on the your 6M and Steelix. Steelix, this was your first time actually being part of this podcast, and probably your first time being part of a podcast in general. I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yep.
Yeah, I think you nailed it, man. I think you did a fantastic job. Hey, it was nice to have you here. Your thoughts were amazing. And 6M, as always, man, you are the bro of bros, man. You are an amazing person. I enjoy having you on, man. You add something to it. And, you know, I don't need to Google anything to get myself factually correct or anything. You guys are here to fix that, and I appreciate that because I'm not a perfect person. You know, I'm someone that's going to learn.
Nobody is.
Yeah, I'm going to learn day by day, you know. But the fact that I get to share this moment with people that I actually love to hang with and chill with is fantastic. And having you both here was amazing. I gotta say the game overall was pretty fun to play. I'm still playing it, by the way. I'm still gonna be playing the post game, and I'm still gonna make some content over it. But I wanted to give out the thoughts of it, and I hope whoever watched this, and I mean actually listen to this, we're not watching anything, enjoyed our conversations here, because we're gonna be bringing you more. I'm planning on doing another podcast next week. Probably not on a Sunday. Probably on Saturday. We'll see. But I would love to do this again. We're going to bring out another topic and stuff, and we're going to talk about it just like this. And you never know. Maybe I'll have a different guest. Who knows? But yeah, if you guys liked it, leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Keep supporting this channel. I'm going to be making more stuff. And hopefully you're going to see some smaller videos and see my commentary at its best. Till next time. Bye-bye.